scratch.
Sorry about that. Hello, glad to be back with you guys. Max here again. I was having some problems. Apparently, I was muted from not being here for about a week. Yeah, I got to get back into the swing of things. So anyway, really glad to be back. Feeling a lot better. Checked in with my dad earlier, and he's doing a lot better. It's just that he's going to be in the hospital for another probably 3 or 4 days because he ended up getting cellulitis again, unfortunately. He's been in and out of the hospital since literally last October. This is his 4th time there. I'm hoping that he doesn't ever have to go back. So anyway, it's been a real stressful week, but I'm feeling a lot better myself and glad to be here with you guys, of course. So as I would say, if anything, I'm going to kick it into the comments. Thanks for being here tonight. Really, really appreciate each and every one of you guys. I want to make this announcement real quick, and that is in regards to ALBT. I'm not going to focus a lot of time about talking about that tonight. I did a recorded video, and after the show's over, you can actually go and watch that. It'll go into full detail for you if you're wondering about what's going on with that. And if you're wondering about, like, for instance, let's say you had on KuCoin, I even include the particular KuCoin update. So today, or actually late yesterday, they came out with another update. So I not only reflected on what happened earlier in the week, but I included everything that happened recently. So it's all jam-packed in one thing. You're not going to want to miss it, man. When you've been away for a while, sometimes you misspeak. Anyway, glad to be here, and I'm glad to be missed. I missed you guys as well. Let's start off with the first comment. And of course, it is Tim Shea who says, "Hey, thank you very much for being here, Tim. Just gonna double check a few of my settings, make sure everything's right." And I want to welcome Zhangping He, who says, "Hello, welcome, Zhangping." Larry's welcome everybody as well. Thank you for that. He states we'll be giving away more crypto once we get 100 people to create a profile in our community. Join today. It's free. Yes, thank you very much. Go ahead and do that to ctnnetwork.net. I'm hoping that maybe next week I could introduce the full, not just a beta, but maybe like the full game to you guys, because you guys have been waiting long enough. And when I do introduce it, I'm just going to say, you know what? Let's just have you be able to use the actual app instead of just doing it in like the beta form. That way it'll be really, really fun. You're going to love it because if anything, you'll be able to not only try to win, I guess you could say, but you can compete obviously with other people. When we have some of our other friends back on the show, maybe for the roundtable and stuff like that, like Daniel, Waddy, Sean, Crypto Smith, and so on, Larry, right? You could be on some teams with them, and it's gonna be a really fun thing. We tested it out a little bit before. I'm really excited about it. Anyway, Lei Kwang Chin states, Cypherium go to the moon. Yes, that'd be really nice if it did that. I saw a pullback. I'm actually thinking, you know what? Maybe this is now my time to finally get into it. It's basically that, LCX and Casper. All right, Stevie's here. Glad to see you, Stevie. Hello to all. Brian Dowie's in the house. Thanks for being here, Brian. Glad to see you back. Same sub XRP Larry. And Coochie Boy says, hey, CTM fam. I actually tuned in the other day for a little bit, and I saw that you were asking about me, Coochie Boy. So it means a lot, man. Thank you. Glad to be back. All right. Man, you guys are going to really enjoy today's show. I'm telling you flat out, we got some big news for you guys. Everything that you see tagged, we'll get coverage. I'm not trying to make this a 4-hour long show because, it's the first time being back in about a week. Actually, 1 week exactly today. But man, I am super excited. I know there was a crash and all that, and a lot of people were kind of like down in the dumps about it. I looked at it as, it was a great entry point. I have some big announcements in regards to Polygon. Yeah, make sure you stay tuned for Polygon. I am literally on the fence of going all out on Polygon. When you see the news about what I'm going to drop, maybe you'll understand where I'm coming from. Huge news in regards to Polygon. If you've seen it already, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's something else. I want to welcome Jammer. He says Shib. Right on. Glad to see somebody from the Shib Army. Jammer 1978. Like to welcome you. I also want to state this. You only buy on green candles. I don't want to state that. No. All right. My strategy is different than most. Interesting. Okay. Well, maybe if you get in for just a little bit, and then as you see it kind of going up a little bit, and you pull out, I don't know. I know where you guys are going to go with that, which is bad. Bad. All right. Sobo's in the house. Glad to see you, Sobo. Always glad to see you. Always like that cozy looking avatar you got there. So welcome, Sobo. Brian states he bought some more XLM XRP today. Cool. Yeah, with the timing of everything, that might be a good idea. Not financial advice. All right. Please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Definitely helps us, tick up. Well, Max, that's why you guys have an intro. So, I don't need to hit the like button anymore. You guys got the intro, so I don't need to do jack dilly squat. You made me listen to intro for a few minutes. Well, do a little bit of both, especially if you're a CTN fan. Okay. All right. Fan of the fan. There you go. All right. Jay Cryptic. Hello, all. Don't miss out on Hello token. Crazy opportunity. You know what? We put out that particular recorded video about Hello. And, it didn't get a ton of views, but it got a decent amount of subscribers. So I think there's something to be said about that. Maybe we start doing more follow-ups. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hello is an interesting project. I like the concept behind it, like that Shark Tank / the tokenization of a television show. How cool is that? So yeah, if you're really gung-ho about Hello, right on. Everybody should be passionate about what they're invested in, especially if it's something original. I will give them credit where credit's due. It's very, very unique. And that in itself could be enough to kind of, get it over the hump, if you will. So guys, let's welcome Jay Cryptic. I haven't seen you here before. Consider changing your name. Maybe you want to change it to the Hello token avatar or something like that. So glad to have you here tonight. I see Tim Shea's ready on top of welcoming other people. Again, if I didn't give a chance to welcome you, if this is your first time, because you got to keep in mind, I have not been here in a week. Maybe you were here when I was absent. But yeah, anyway, everybody's staying to, 2 punks and 2 Porsches. Interesting. Buy the dips and so on. Yeah, good point. Jasmine, we've got some real, good Jasmine information for you guys. Shout out to a new friend of mine who has been doing the heavy lifting for Jasmine long before I came around, and that is Zippy. He is a really great content creator. He does Twitter Spaces every single Sunday, and I believe it's at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, which is my time. Of course, you could decipher what time that it is and so on, depending on your time zone. But yeah, he does a Twitter space every Sunday, and they talk about Jasmine. I finally was able to tune into a recorded because I missed the last particular live. They have great info. They have, if you're impressed with like the likes of, I always said the likes of Greg Lunt and that type of format when it comes to some of the deep dives and research and so on, and you want that type of feel, if you will, when it comes to the research, and you're also into Jasmine, by all means, check out Zippy's Twitter space. He teams up with about four to five other people on their particular panel, and they have very great, high quality research content. So shout out to him. And Ty is flexing, and it looks like he's also flexing that. What is that? 8-pack, 6-pack, something like that. Looks pretty good. No homo, of course, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I wish I was in that good of shape. Maybe someday. With all this XRP money that we're going to be making in Quant and so on, by then I'll have no excuse but to get a Hollywood bod. Yes. Anyway, Jian Ping, nice music. LOL. Yes, thank you very much. All right, there's quite a few people here. I want to welcome Blackwood. I'm going to jump further down. Z's in the house. If I skipped anybody, it's not on purpose. If you have any other questions or comments, yeah, it got a little bit blurry there. I apologize. I didn't realize I was uploading the recorded video, and it was still uploading, so I apologize for that. That's probably why I got blurry. I am on a budget when it comes to my internet. Larry has actually way better internet than I do, but the problem with him is he's out in like a rural area. Me, on the other hand, I'm more of in the city. So yeah, I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. I do apologize. But yeah, I want to welcome Blackwood and anybody else. Let's see here. Anyone get their Nexera tokens yet? I didn't get mine yet, but I do have an update in regards to KuCoin. I'll state this real quick. So you can, of course, watch the video later, but if you want the quick gist in regards to just the KuCoin segment, in regards to KuCoin, you don't have to do jack daily squat. All you have to do is just sit back and it will automatically do it, and KuCoin will go ahead and update everybody. In fact, they went right on the official Alliance block announcement, and they even mentioned their particular updates. So no, you don't have to do anything if you had KuCoin, or if you had your Nexera, I should say Nexera, ALBT on KuCoin. All right. But sounds good. Yes. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Lionel Richie. No, we haven't said that in a while, right? Cash Cats is in the house. States, hi guys, I'm driving and listening. Just want to say hi. Glad to see you, Max, and everyone. Yes, glad to see you too. Rivers in the house. Think about you, man. Praying for you and your father. Well, thank you, Olamide. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, he could definitely use some prayers. I even contacted one of his old childhood best friends. It's a lady who's kind of like a friend, just a real close friend of the family. She was praying for him as well. She even prayed with me for him because, I mean, just in and out of the hospital last, I don't know, since October. It's just who wants to do that? So he has a problem because he has, you get older with age and so on. He's got a lymphedema, and he ended up getting new wounds on his legs, and it's just like, man, like we wanted to go to the air show last Saturday, and he wanted to go, and then he was just like, I can't go because like I'm not all healed up and stuff, and it just sucks because I mean we were really looking forward to doing that, but it's one of those things. I promise I'm going to get into the news here soon. We have good problems, I should say. Max, Cypheria community loves you. Well, I love the Cypheria community. Thank you very much. I am going to catch up on everything. I promise. I'll try to go in beast mode again. Try to pump out some good content. I had a good conversation with Larry a few days ago. I said, sometimes, I was watching, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited about being back. Anyway, I was watching a interview. Maybe you guys saw it. So it's Lex Friedman and it's Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast was, having a nice conversation with Lex. And he basically stated that, it's not necessarily about just putting out a ton of content. It's about trying to put like high quality content. So I've been looking at the stats, and, the ones where we really, really took this channel to the next level was with some of the deep dives and so on. Of course, we always appreciate you guys with the live, but let's face it, a lot of you guys came from the recorded to the live. And so, It's time consuming, but my thing is I want to do more deep dives for Quant. I want to do more deep dives for Jasmine. I actually want to do more deep dives for Ethereum. Some of the other research that you guys have on this list. Don't think I threw it away. I still have it. But I'm just trying to get back in the mix of things. I want to welcome back Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. He states, welcome back, Max. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Wadi sends his regards, CTN fan. Well, glad to see that. He sent me a text the other day. That was really nice of him. Need you guys to buy these reds so they can turn green. That's a good one. All right. Harlem Stuntman. Wow, what a name. I hope, you know what? How about this? Shout out to Harlem because I've been watching a great show. I'm gonna endorse this. The Godfather of Harlem, great TV show. I teach history, right? So I absolutely love anything historical. It takes place between 1963 and I guess 1968. So its third season, stars Forrest Whitaker. You have actors portraying Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, obviously Bumpy Johnson from Harlem, and so on. If you love a good mob flick and so on, oh man, you do not want to miss The Godfather Harlem. Great show. Anyway, I saw your name. Want to welcome you. First time visiting your channel stream. Thank you very much. We promise to get into the news here in a bit. Hi, Max. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. Crypto Smith. Sean, it's all good. All right. How about this? Mr. Lambo states he's heard another YouTube channel say that they believe XRP can reach 100,000 to 500,000, the highest prediction I've heard yet. What do you guys think? I mean, anything's possible. Don't get me wrong. You just got to keep in mind, sometimes people go crazy with it, but let's face it, I'm guilty of going crazy with stuff, right? With Quant, right? It said $1 million a coin by 2030. I could be wrong, and that's okay. I mean, if they say that, they say that. But let's face it, it's not just like, they came up with something with no utility, right? It'd be one thing if it was like, yeah, Shiba Inu is going to go to $100,000 a token. Okay, that would be malarkey, right? There's no way. But when it comes to some of these particular things, you never know, because in the future, let's face it, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening. So the other day, somebody said to me, how can you predict that Jasmine will even go to $1? How's that even possible? And I said, well, listen, just because you might not think it's not possible doesn't mean it can't be. How do we know that? Well, based on some things, basically. Shiba Inu, we saw basically 10 zeros, right? So a number and 10 zeros behind it. That has shaved off 6. We're at 4 zeros. Some people say that can never been done. It was done and then some. Some people say that Bitcoin can never go to $69,000 per coin with no utility. Look how that turned out. So my whole point is, yeah, it's a difference between market cap. It's a difference between what's, circulating supplies. We get all that, right? Market cap, all that stuff, right? Tokenomics are different. But the point is, just because something hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't. And how about this for size? Just because something reached all-time highs doesn't mean it won't reach new all-time highs again. I will give a shout out to Luke Lango and Charlie Shrem Investor Place. They point this out. I think there's going to be something to be said between maybe late 2023 going out to 2025, and when it comes to second time cycles or second all-time highs for a lot of different projects. It's the good, solid utility projects that will stand out. And of course, you guys know that. But I think that's anything is possible. Me personally, I think that's pretty high. I thought it was something else to see somebody say 50,000 XRP, but it just depends. I mean, let's face it, depending on how much XRP you have, some of you guys are like, yeah, man, as soon as it hits like, $1,000, I'm good. That's where I look at. I mean, like, it hits over 1,000, I'm more than good. Hits over 10,000, then shoot. I mean, it's just gravy, but just don't have all your eggs in one basket is the point. All right, let me go further down. I got mine on KuCoin, Max. Do you know when they will have it changed? There's some announcements in regards to that. I think I have the specific date, but with everything I read today, I got mixed up a little bit. So I think that it was supposed to start the integration either late last night or going through maybe later today. I can't remember. On the recorded, I have it. I apologize for not having it all together. But anyway, it's going to happen soon. I do know that. And they did have those particular updates that they shared on the official Alliance block. So that's good to see KuCoin be interactive or transparent. Ulamide, our superheroes are getting old, Max. Yes, they very much are. All right. Thank you so much. Big Watch Dude also. What's up, CTM fan? What's up, Max? Good to have you back. Appreciate that. Thanks for saying that, Dell. I'm glad to see you guys. I got to go further down. I want to welcome Boomer F and Sooner, and thank you so much for being here. We're going to kick into the news because we're about half an hour into it. Might as well, right? Well, we could have kicked it in a lot earlier than that if we didn't have the dang intro. Well, got to keep in mind, it helps the algorithm. All right. So I'm going to highlight this. Let's kick it into the first big announcement of the day, and it is in regards to both the Graph and Polygon. I actually are into both of these. Some of you guys are as well, and if you're not, then that's okay too. It's like no harm, no foul, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm gonna show you some way you can see it. Just kind of getting back into the gist of how to do this. So here it goes, and I just got right to the main gist of this. I will read the Polygon update first. So it states Polygon's ZK-EVM is launching on March 27th. Now, I get it. This could be a perfect example of buy the rumor, sell the news, right? We understand that. But when you see what I'm going to state right here, this is huge for Polygon. So this is going to launch March 27th. The long-awaited Layer 2 scaling solution is almost here. Unlike Polygon, which is a sidechain, Polygon's ZK-EVM uses native, listen to this, ETH tokens for gas, but can keep costs low and throughput high by essentially building transactions and submitting them to Ethereum network all at once. Now, before we read any more of this, I want to state this much, right? I realize that Polygon's been pulling back, and I also realized that they went ahead and they released was it over, I don't know, was 100, 200 of their staff. So some people may think, this, like, why would you want to go all in on Polygon with some of that recent news? Just hear me out. There's a little bit more in regards to this, right? So it states that this is going to basically allow the cost to be low and throughput high by essentially building transactions, but submitting them to the Ethereum network all at once. Another powerful aspect of its ZK-EVM is that it is EVM equivalent, meaning all Ethereum virtual machine code will run exactly the same on Polygon's scaling solution as it does on Ethereum. That is the key thing here, but it gets even better. Listen to this. In other words, developers can just copy and paste their code and experience faster speeds and much lower fees with very minimal effort. I'm telling you flat out, when it comes to utility being utilized, it's one thing, right? We saw, that Mark Cuban statement, what helped the all-time highs for Ethereum, right? It's the triggering of gas fees, whether we are a fan of it or not. We're obviously not fans. Like you said, you want to buy an NFT, gas fee. You want to buy ERC20 token, gas fee. But the point is, if you have another player that comes to the table that has a scaling solution, and it doesn't on Ethereum, but what's the key thing? Look here. Keeps costs low and throughput high by essentially bundling transactions, then submitting it to the Ethereum network all at once. That is huge. And for me, there's been one in which I'm saying to myself, I want to go all out on one particular one because I want to do, as I've been talking about for a while, if you guys remember me saying this, I want to do a power swap before I could buy more of some of these other ones. Not saying that Polygon's bad. Obviously, I think it's huge. I already have Polygon, but I overpaid for it a while back. This might be a good entry point for me, and to also just time it just right. Now, I'm not saying for you to do that. That's what I am personally looking to do. Anyway, that covers some of the Polygon info. We're going to cover the graph real quick because the graph has been getting a lot of hot news lately. So with the graph, I basically came in roughly like 6 cents. I have more than, gotten over done over a 2x on this and so on. Really, really pleased with the timing I came in with the graph. And also there was another one, what was the audio, right? So here's the update regards to the graph. It says they share some positive fourth quarter network stats, 72 new indexers joined the network. Lifetime developers rose 12.5% to the project, added support for Ethereum, right? Just kind of like Polygon, and even Gnosis, GNO. The graph has also announced upcoming integrations with Shello, Polygon, Optimism, Avalanche, and even Arbitrum. All right, going to kick it back in the comments just for a brief bit, and then after that, we're going to kick it into Quant, because some big news dropped for Quant. But yeah, glad to see some people here. Boomer F and Sooner says, WTF is Shibarium. Boomer spent about 500 down there to the Hobby Lobby today. Boomer needs money. Yes, I totally agree with it. I don't know what's going on with that. You know, there's a lot of pressure lately. We saw Bone jump to what, over $2? Was it like 210, 215? It's had a pullback. I even saw my leash blast off. I was like, heck yeah, about time. But yeah, I don't know what's up with Shibarium. Everybody's impatient about it, but maybe that's a good thing. You know, I'm building a little bit more of the pressure cooker effect. Doesn't help that we get, of course, bad news with the stock market. This whole debate about, you know, crypto is separate from the stock market. Not there yet. Clearly not there yet. All right. I want to welcome Salamander. Welcome back. Is it me you're looking for? Lionel Richie, of course. Larry likes to state, but in reality, it's Salamander that we're looking for. Good to see you, Salamander. GS is also in the house. If I haven't welcomed you yet, GS, I want to welcome you. And I'm going to highlight that. Let's kick it back more into some of our particular coverage. And if anything, I want to show you guys this. Shout out to Crypto Mike. So here we go. And here it is. So it states the ISO GOAT, top XRP countries, Japan. Now, here's the thing, right? You know, shout out to the Philippines, you know, Rafael Santos, my mother's family came from the Philippines and so on. You can throw in Ukraine in that particular list, but I mean, it's interesting to see Japan at the top of the list, right? Because my thing is this, I know that we're going to talk about Quant, but in the same breath, we need to talk about Jasmine, right? So that risk to reward ratio for Jasmine, man, something else. You know, I just talked about the whole thing of, you know, basically going all out with Polygon, right? At the same time, I'm also thinking about going all out with Jasmine because I see what's coming up here, right? And we got some big news in regards to Jasmine. Shout out to Zippy who provided some of it. But let's jump into this. So we have an outline for you guys. And I'll jump to the next particular tab. And shout out to Greg Lunt, who provided it and states, breaking, Quant Network has received its first response on patent application in Japan, originally filed in 2020. Now, you know, you may be thinking, why is Japan just popping off like crazy? Well, think about it. It's the timing, right? So if you have them coming out, as we know, remember with the Jasmine news, stating that they're unbanning this whole thing when it came to, you know, the stable coins and so on, right? You know, Tether, Circle, and so on. That's big. Now you're starting to see some of the other things. So imagine putting in an application for that particular patent back in 2020, and now you're starting to see, you know, a response, right? This is to the Quant team. You're starting to see more partnerships in Japan in regards to Jasmine. The whole point is what? It's Japan, right? That's the big key takeaway, and you know how they're positioning themselves for the future, or let's face it, the near future coming up here soon. So it says, apart from one minor issue, the Japanese office has found no reason for refusal on any of Overledger's claims. Let's effing go. Boomer effing Sooner. Let's effing go, right? So here's that particular note. It's a little blurry, but it says claim in which no reason for refusal is found. The invention, as in claim of 1-14, no reason for refusal has been found at present. If any reason for refusal is found later, it will be notified, etc., etc. There's a link to the particular response on Telegram if you're, you know, want to nerd it out completely. I did try to bring it to you guys. It wanted me to install a bunch of fonts and stuff like that, and I was like, ugh. You know, oh yeah, you know, time for the fudders to come out of the woodwork, right? But anyway, but yeah, you know, it goes more into it, but it's big. It's big to see that. You like to, you know, to see these particular things mentioned. On top of that, we're going to share this tab instead. Shout out to the one and only Quant Papa. Yeah, we got the whole Quant All-Stars up in the house. So you're going to love this. Listen to this. BSN China is revolutionizing the blockchain industry with its interoperable QNT infrastructure. Yeah, QNT infrastructure. Funny how things come out of the woodwork, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, enabling developers worldwide to build, deploy, and manage blockchain applications at unprecedented scale. The future of blockchain is now. Now, I'm going to, of course, play this for you guys. Keep in mind, it's, I think it's in Mandarin or something like that. But we'll come back in just a moment. After that, I have a great little segues, Larry would say, to throw in to the mix about another particular blockchain and why this is so crucial. So if you're just joining us here tonight at CTN, thanks for, join us on a Friday night especially, and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let's go ahead and play this, and then we'll be right back.
引领新一轮的信息技术变革，区块链服务网络 BSN 应运而生。区块链服务网络由遍布全国的公共城市节点和共识排序集群服务组成。应用发布方和使用方可以使用统一身份证书发布和加入不限数量的区块链应用，不再需要建设独立的区块链运行环境。所有应用通过负载均衡机制，使平均资源消耗降至最低，运行成本仅为传统区块链云服务的20%。
All right, so enough about that.
可以让开发者
Yeah, I was only going to play a little bit. I was not going to have you guys sit through the whole 2 minutes of, Mandarin. But anyway, what I was going to state is what's crucial about it and why it's important. Let me just go ahead and zoom out real quick. It's kind of like what you saw right there. I'm going to reiterate just a little bit more. And I did see a super chat. Let me get to that in just a moment. So yes, it states, this is going to enable developers worldwide to build, deploy, and manage blockchain applications at unprecedented scale. The future of blockchain is now. BSN China, digital transformation. But the key thing is where it says BSN China is revolutionizing the blockchain industry with its interoperable QNT. Yes, infrastructure. I cannot pound it home enough. Now, there's more in regards to this, but I do want to recognize Salamander's super chat. He says, Yahoo, Max is back. Please buy more XDC. Thanks so much. How late was I on that? Not too late, only 5 minutes. Thanks, Sal. Really appreciate it. Yes, I do need to buy more XDC. I'm still satisfied with what I have, though. But in reality, we could all buy more. Shoot, you at over 1 million XDC, I'm sure you're probably like, oh, man, I hit over 1 million. Might as well go after 2 million. I don't know. I don't speak for you, but yeah, very glad to be back. I see that we have 52 beautiful people, as Larry would say. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. May take up to a higher bracket and get this out to more and more people. But thank you very, very much, Salamander. Glad to be back with you guys tonight. Yes, check out our community website, which is ctnnetwork.net. People welcome each other. Jetpack J0229, Japan is using the Internet of Things with Toyota to create smart cities and new cars. We're going to get into a little bit about that in regards to Jasmine in a bit. Thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, it's good to see everybody up in the house. Hey, Max, that was an interesting XRP list. Well, I don't know if I pulled that up. Yeah, XRP countries. Yes. I know I was talking about a little bit of Quant and so on, but I also wanted to point out some of that as well. So sorry, I'm kind of getting back into the mix of things if I misspoke on that. So yes, anyway, but the whole point is the whole thing is it's Japan is the main takeaway. Whether we're talking about XRP, Jasmine, we're talking about Quant. The main key takeaway here is the whole thing with Japan, and that in itself is huge. But all right, let's go further down. I want to say what's up to Wadi. He says, Waza. Good to see you, Wadi. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for the nice messages you sent me on my phone. And Cash said he made it home. I could chill with everyone. Yes, you can now chill with everyone. Thank you for that. ISO Jetpack J0229. Jasmine's a legal token. The legislation in Japan is involved. Yeah, well, they're involved big time when it comes to everything because, I mean, let's face it, they have the best interests, for the most part, I would say so, of their citizens, and they're very hardcore with making sure nobody gets wrecked Can you imagine if our country had the same attitude? Anyway, let's not make it too divisive, right? All right. Blackwood says, I love international ads. The confusion gives me comfort. Yeah, I didn't want to play the whole thing because, if anything, maybe some people would leave. But yes, let's get back into it. Wadi states, hey Max, where is my bone? I don't know about that. Oh, that's a wrench. All right, I don't know about that either. All right. So let me see. Let me see about that. Maybe I could just do it here. You know what? I'll have one of the moderators, like Larry, the head moderator, put that in for you. I'm sure you'll get it here in a second. All right. Tim Shea says, miss you, Max. Hope things are okay. Yeah, I miss you guys too. Things are okay. But it's just sometimes how it goes. It's just you get too stressed out, and then I have stomach problems before. I don't need any more of that. Yeah, it's just here in the Phoenix area is like, I don't know how it is. Maybe you guys, like was it the Cornwalls? You guys live in Oklahoma, but I try to make sure I get like fresh, anything fresh. I follow the instructions on what I made, and it's just I don't know. Maybe something happened, but had some bad fish sticks, if you can imagine that. I was trying to save some money to buy more crypto, and I was just like I eat out too much, and yeah, I'm gonna make some fish sticks, and those fish sticks like just tore, like it just I should have gone to the hospital. It was so bad, but I got over it finally. Got some probiotics and let them kind of do its thing. But glad to have you here, and it's nice to be missed. All right, Wadi, the crypto hunter, is laughing about what I said because I thought it was a bone. Yeah, I mean, on the icon, and I had to look at it closely. I'm like, that's a wrench. That's not a bone. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty bad. Cash Cat says there are quite a few YouTube influencers that think Asia would be a front runner next bull run. What do you think? I think they're right on a lot of that. Not necessarily everything. And we're going to get more into that here in a bit. All right, let's see here. Use the decentralized projects to build your ISOs, so while you wait, you're not missing the gains. That's a good point. Okay, Wadi got the wrench and not the bone. All right. Cash Hong Kong opening up trading June 1st is so bullish. Yeah, you're a mod and you're not getting the bone. Wadi, I didn't win. All right. All right, let's jump back into this. So we did have this particular outline for you. And I'm going to share that right now for you. So we talked a little bit about what, Crypto Mike shared, what Greg LUNC shared. Great stuff, right? So let's get a little bit more into why I was mentioning the whole thing with the key thing is Japan, right? So again, shout out to Quant Papa. So here is the next part of that particular outline. This is 3 hours ago, so it's still pretty fresh, right? So it says DLN networks like we talk about quite often. LAC chain is big, especially for Quant. EBSI, BSN, bank, are transforming industries and enabling new levels of collaboration and innovation. With BSN China's interoperable infrastructure, the future of blockchain is brighter than before. BSN China, some of these other ones tagged. Let's blow that up. So sometimes we got to take a blast from the past. So look at what it says here. It says the rise of regional DLNs. But while national DLNs have huge potential, regional multinational DLNs have even more. This is because they deliver even more value than the national infrastructures. True. By providing the ability to deal cross-jurisdictional issues and support cross-border trade. True. In fact, the benefits of regional DLNs are so significant that some are already live or in advanced state of development. Now, how do we know which ones are live? I tell you flat out this much right now, right? LAC chain, we already had basically, some people call it like the beta of that particular rollout that happened. What was it? Even before last summer, right? With Quant. So it states that in an advanced state of development, we already read that part. In the EU, for example, the EBSI DLN is coming online, and it's coming online soon. While China's BSN infrastructure is now rolling out globally. Probably, however, the most advanced example of a regional DLN is currently, again, just like I was mentioning earlier, LAC chain. And remember, the Quant connection in regards to that. An alliance led by actually led by Quant, I should say, but it says the BSN was initiated by the Chinese Government State Information Center, the SIC, along with Red Date, China Mobile, and China UnionPay. The aim is to provide a low-cost blockchain network, making it accessible to the masses and offering numerous different permission blockchain technologies. In other words, companies don't have to set up their own nodes, and that right there is big in itself. So far, the BSN supports Hyperledger Fabric, Fisco, BCOS, CETA, a Chinese enterprise Ethereum. Think about that for a moment. And Baidu's Super chain with several others announced. With a deal already inked for Consensus Quorum to be added, Corda was the odd one out of the big three enterprise blockchains until today. There are more than 100 city nodes in China with plans for 150 by the end of 2021. Now, I'm going to get to the good stuff here in a bit. If anything, we again have to have a reference to the past of how this all first started. Because when you do that, you're able to establish why it's so significant now and where we're going here in the near future. So back on July 31st, 2020, this particular person asked Gilbert Veridian, CEO of Quant, any thoughts on BSN, Gil? Could OV, it says, we are here to connect the BSN, EBSI, UK, and other jurisdictions to the rest of the world through the OVN. On top of that, it says on February 24th, again, I guess you could say later on that particular year, our board have met with the highest levels of government in China regarding their blockchain initiatives. We have a meeting here in London in 2 weeks' time with some contacts. We are exploring taking our technology to China as is the right time. Now, I believe it's the right time as well. And if anything, here is something I want to show you on my particular outline for you. So when we got further into it, this person responded like, wow. I mean, yeah, it is wow. Because here's something I want to show you. So if you've been following what's been going on the last week, and I know I haven't been here, but still in the background, I still pay attention to what's going on. So Conflux, right? It's got the label of, it's China's, let me double check what it is. It's China's only regulatory compliant chain in China. Conflux is facilitating entry into the Asian market for other globally minded, I should say, crypto projects. Now, if you've been paying attention, and I'm sure you guys have, you have noticed that this thing had a massive, massive pump as of recently, right? You have, for instance, in that circulating supply, you got a little over 2 billion, 97,547,000 supply. And it's, it's gone crazy, absolutely crazy berserk as far as price action. So the last week, the average, currently speaking, is up 54%. It was a lot higher, of course, after this thing, tapered out. Look what it shows on the two-week average, 316% up. 30-day average, 646%. Really big things. Combine that with understanding let's face it, when it comes to crypto, the supply and demand for all of this. And it starts with some of these particular ones, like what you saw basically mentioned right here. Again, the only regulatory compliant chain in China. Think about this. I think if anything, we should pay more attention to maybe some other ones that start popping up before they start popping up or popping off. It's something huge to be, just time it just right. So here's the key takeaway before we kick it back in the comments. And that I want to leave you guys with this just briefly. Okay. We gave you guys this particular outline when it comes to understanding the whole thing with Japan and why that's huge. The timing is what makes the likes of Jasmine huge. The timing is what makes the likes of Conflux huge. The Quant connection and all that, right? But the key takeaway is what's happening in Japan, what's happening in China, and so on. If we can do more of, as the saying goes, our own research, hence why you're here tonight, right? Dyor with Max. There's something to be said about supply and demand when it comes to crypto. As we know, that's a no-brainer. But there's also something to be said about the timing of when you get into entry points for these particular cryptos and what they are doing with blockchain technology and so on. For me, I am going to take more of my own personal deeper dive into not just Conflux, even though I feel like I missed it a little bit, but I want to research more about other ones out there that might have similar use cases. And if anything, is there something there already? Are these ones building out? How long have they been building out? What have they been doing? Is there partnerships? Are there other countries that have similar regulation, which they put a big blockade, if you will, but now they're making announcements or soon make an announcement that they're coming out of the woodwork and, are now embracing blockchain technology. That is huge in itself, because that shows me that some of these particular ones could very well pop off here soon. I mean, when I show you this again, I'm going to show you this one more time in regards to the one on CoinGecko, on Conflux. When we look at this, yeah, I mean, this was a little bit higher than it was, but the key takeaway is some of what you see right here. I mean, this was, sitting at, oh man, I mean, what, 3 cents? Let's see how it was on 90 days ago. Maybe under that, right? Yeah. So, January 18th, 2023, this was sitting at a little under 3 cents. And then look at this. Again, this is all about supply and demand. And on top of that, having something unique. If you have something that, like the only one available from China, that is what? This right again, I'll share it again. The only regulatory compliant chain in China. Again, think about it. If you're the only of anything, that is big in itself. Let's try to pay more attention to some of these particular ones. And of course, I listen to you guys in the comments when it comes to sharing some of this stuff. Speaking of which, I'm going to kick it back to the comments. We do have some more coverage tonight for you. And the next segment will be, of course, Jasmine. That used to be the final segment, but again, kind of like crypto, supply and demand. We have been getting a lot of people who follow us in regards to Jasmine. It needs to be more up towards the top of the queue, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back in the comments. And thanks for being here tonight. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. Let's see here. Congratulations to Wadi. Yes, all laughing about my last comment from a while back, which is funny. Wadi, who ended up winning the poker tournament. Huh. Yikes. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. Kushi Boy, with that wrench comes great responsibilities. Ask Brian and Tim. Very good point. We're at 57. Did we already tick up to 60? If so, that'd been great. Proof of what he's saying right there. All right. Grind time 1. Yes, Wadi will have to take his turn with Caroline. She's very geez. DeFi. We just turned crypto talk now into DeFi talk now. That's okay. Wadi, don't put your phone in your pocket. Jeez. All right. ISO Jetpack J0229. Jasmine is one of the most safest investments you can make. Well, maybe now. I would definitely would have said that, during that time where everything went from $4 to $5 down to, tanking below a penny. But yes, I feel as though that we reached a bottom right around that particular area. And we see some huge things happening by June. That's just how I personally feel about it. If anything, I think it's been pretty consistent with that. All right. China, East, Japan, Bitcoin. All right. Let me go further down. Wadi, good advice from Brian. ISO Jetpack J0229. Each country has their own main coin. It's not a one coin rules all. That's a good point. I mean, even with Jasmine, right? That's a good point. The whole label of, let me just state this real quick. The whole label of, Jasmine being the Bitcoin Japan. I mean, that's, it's kind of like saying Bitcoin is the main coin of the United States. I mean, there's other ones out there, but it's a good point you make. All right. Coochie Boy, ISO don't know that, bro. Big Watch Dude, hey guys, CTN After Dark has officially started once Caroline enters the conversation. I don't know about that. We're an hour into the show. I don't know if we're ready for that yet. Speaking of CTN After Dark, might as well welcome Mr. Shagans, Mr. D. Shagans. Good morning from Scotland. Hope you're feeling better, Max. Yes, I am feeling better, more enthusiastic. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. And let's go further down. Estonia, Finland, and Iceland, they made an alliance called the Nordic Institute for Interoperability. That's interesting. I didn't know that. See, I even learned new stuff. Thank you for that. I want to welcome Wayne Side. He said, wet Southern Cal in the house. Peace up, peace out, man. Welcome back, Mr. Wayne Side. Yeah. And everyone's saying, what's up to Mr. Produce man, cucumber, squash, banana squash. Never mind. I'm not going to do it. Tiche, so LA has a blizzard watch. You heard, really? I have to call my aunt. My aunt lives in the LA area. Norwalk, actually, which is right next to Inglewood. But anyway, let me go further down. Yes, but everybody, welcome Wayne Side again. Thanks for being here, Wayne Side. Appreciate it. Jetpack says all government regulations digital will be led by the Estonian government. Interesting. Which token is India's fave? I used to have that answer earlier today. Now you got me thinking. All right. Wadi states, stop talking about popping. Max Caroline gets excited. I'm good on that. All right. Hey, we've ticked up to 62. Can we make 70? If you just joined us tonight, please hit the like. For real, if this is your first time ever connecting to our particular show, welcome. For real, welcome. Any questions or comments you have, feel free to drop them in the chat. Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are, and what you're about. And we have a very welcoming community. They joke around about stuff in regards to like some of the DGen stuff, but for the most part, we do have a very friendly, mature audience. But it's Friday, and everybody worked hard all week. Let's all relax and have a good time. All right. Coochie Boy, I am hoping Volt Inu will be India's favorite. That's a good point. All right. Says Cash Cats. Brian Howie states, I got to think India is using XRP or at least the XRPL. That's a good point. I did say something else, though, specific in regards to some of these other ones. China has Ethereum. Good point. All right. Coochie Boy states, I thought China's Bitcoin is Filecoin. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to correct you if you're wrong on that one because I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to misquote myself on that one. Osborne is in the house. Welcome. I believe that you're in the Phoenix area, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Max, I hope all is well. It's been a while. Love the stream. Well, thanks, man. Just want to get your take on Cyphereum, as well as GBEX. So in regards to Cyphereum, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up real quick. My thing is this. I think that this is a great entry point for me personally. Maybe you already have some Cyphereum. I don't know. But when I was looking at it on CMC, I believe it's under 6 cents. That's all of a sudden started pumping. But this might very well drop below 5 cents, right? Because, everything that's been happening lately, we basically saw, was it 1.13 trillion? We're now down to 1.06 trillion overall crypto market cap. But yeah, I feel as though, this is a nice entry point for myself. I was considering it. The only thing I don't like is, as you can see, I don't like it when I see a graph look like this, because that tells me something is being moved around and so on, right? That does not look natural. But I still think it's a solid project. I think some of these guys are talking about some of this, like, please explain tokenomics to me, fully diluted, what are the 94% who holds it? We could talk more about some of this stuff, but I'm not a fan of straight horizontal lines. It reminds me of like meme token projects and so on. Don't like seeing that. I'd rather see something a little bit more natural. But teach is on. I still feel as though that this is one I definitely want to get into still. But I just, got to be real about it. But as far as how I feel about Cyphereum, I feel as though that is definitely one of the players that's going to show up to the big show. What's the big show? This whole thing in regards to all this focus on payments, right? ISO 222 and so on. So for many, many months, let's face it, since last summer all the way up to about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, something like that, we always were talking about, Quant, XRP, XLM, XDC, some of these other ones are part of ISO 222, but we were never talking about Cypherium. Now, maybe you guys were talking about it, right? Shout out to me, myself, and I. Shout out to some of the other guys that mentioned Cypherium. You already knew you researched, right? Me, I came a little bit later. But again, like, it doesn't matter. The whole point is understanding the utility that it has. So when I look more into it, and I saw shout out to Crypto Smith, Sean, he did that video, and I showed plain as day on their particular website. They're ISO 222 compliant. The FedNow payment service officially recognizes them. States that it doesn't say anywhere that they're officially going to use them, probably because of NDA clause and so on. Let's be honest. But you saw Sky of Cypherium. He basically went to the Bank of International Settlements. He's met with some of these big players in person. And so my thing is, you met with all of these guys. You even took pictures. I mean, yeah, it'd be a lot nicer to see something official, but let's be honest, if something did happen in regards to that, they probably would have went to insane prices. So my thing is, when I look at the price and I see it went from 6 cents to 5, not quite under 5, but it's right around the 5-cent margin. That's not too shabby. I think there's a huge, big future for them to basically say, or even have people from FedNow officially recognize them, but just to slap them and say, nope, we're not going to use your service. That'd be ridiculous. I mean, they would have to do something massively stupid or sinister to not get that done. So, if we're always connecting the dots when it comes to various different crypto projects, you can definitely connect the dots and say to yourself that Cypherium is something solid. Now, it's not official financial advisor or anything, but that's the information I gathered. We will continuously cover Cypherium. Why not? But there needs to be a cheat sheet 3.0. I have 2.0. I'll pin to my profile on Twitter. 3.0 definitely deserves to have Cypherium. Now, in regards to GBEX, I also have recognized that it's had a nice, consistent climb up, as some of you guys have mentioned, for the last 90 days. It's not on my short list. Some of you guys may think, well, why isn't your short list? Because I'm already into over 50 projects. All right. I've already reinvested over $60,000 into crypto from last year ongoing into this, year, as a present. So when I say that I have got to narrow things down, I have got to narrow things down. I mean, I'm not the type of person which I feel like, mortgaging the house or something, pulling a CZ or something like that. Some people might want to do that. Me, I'm not comfortable with doing that yet. I might do that at some point, but I'm not. That's part of my own crypto journey. But I think GBEX is solid. I really do. I really truly believe that. But for me personally, I'm mainly focusing on probably 3 last ones I'm going to get into, and that is Cypherium, LCX, and Casper. After that, it's just strictly DCAing. Somebody could, come across and be like, well, Max, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We'll research it. We'll bring it to you guys. But as far as me personally getting into it, I think I'll be more comfortable with what I mentioned. And if anything, I'm going to stack more and more and more. I mean, come on, XDC. How much longer are we going to see XDC at these particular price levels? Cypherium, you just mentioned it. Casper. So, I mean, there's a few, right? How about this? HBAR, right? We saw a pullback to 7 cents. So that's where it's at with me. And then on top of that, some of the ones are not ISO related, right? The graph, right? I'm so glad I got into the graph at 6 cents. So glad I got into audio with, I forgot the particular level, but it was just, I've had huge gains with those. I'm looking to stack more with those. You know what I mean? And some of you guys do the same thing. You DC. That's the power of the DCA. Tim Shea says, Coochie Boy, I just know CPH helped China with their digital yuan, and they are level 1. Very cool. All right. But yeah, Osborne, welcome. Coochie Boy states, yeah, it's the reason you got into Filecoin 2 years ago. Right. And if anything, Coochie Boy, I mean, you don't beat yourself up about the price that you came into it. Just like I'm not going to beat myself up about the price I came into Polygon, right? The power of the DCA helps average that out. Wow, it's that time of the day. Menelect. Hello, is it Menelect that we're looking for? Not Lionel Richie. Menelect. All right. Let's welcome Menelect. Excuse me. Cash Cat says Filecoin did have a good run last bull run. Makes me want to grab it big for the next run. That's my thing. I'm trying to I'm on the fence with that. See, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get heavily into Cypherium, Casper, and even LCX. I should say heavily into, but have good points. And then after that, after I'm comfortable with that, I do want to make what I call one power play. It's either going to be maybe Filecoin, but man, that news that I mentioned at the beginning of our live show, that news about Polygon makes me want to go like, I always mention 4K. I don't know why I do 4K. I don't know. We all have our different points. But for me, and again, it's not financial advice. Please do not take this and do something crazy. Okay. This is me personally. And I even mentioned this to Larry. For me, I am so on the fence of just going all out, like roughly 8K, maybe more, into Polygon. And then once I see it like pop off, if you will, doing a power shift. And then I get it, depending on the time. And I'm talking about soon. So if a lot of this stuff happens late March, and let's face it, it might not go crazy parabolic like some people are thinking. But if some of it does, then I'm going to look at the ones that didn't. And if anything, maybe strengthen the stack that I have for those particular ones. And you guys all have, different reasons for what you want to do and so on. But that's just the way I look at it. If I had a nice return back on Polygon, then I get out. I know it sounds crazy, but I get out, because the way I look at it is there's more of a bigger return on investment for some of these. That's not me flooding Polygon. I just, again, I'm sure some of you guys do some of these things. Maybe you don't call it a power shift or power swap. Call it something else. But I'm looking at these particular dates and time, and I'm thinking to myself, how we talk about you're going to be eventually priced out of quant. Let's face it. When it comes to some of these utility token ISOs and so on, we are eventually going to get way priced out of these comfortable entry points. And I'm going to throw XDC into mix. I mean, this whole talk about XDC being only, under 3 cents, and it's been this way, trading sideways for the longest time. I'm telling you flat out, somebody can screenshot this. I don't care. It is going to absolutely go parabolic. It's going to explode after some of these things happen, maybe after April or well into summer. And don't get me wrong. I could be wrong. And the only way I could be wrong in regards to this is we have, let's face it, black swan events. But black swan events, as you guys know, can happen when it comes to a real true bull run. Those things always can happen. But there's something to be said about this whole thing with XDC. And I think people recognize it. The last XDC video I put out in regards to that whole R3 connection, right? It said 90% of banks use R3. That video ended up being our top performing XDC video, and it's still doing well. A lot of new subscribers from that and so on. Why? Because people are educating themselves about this quote unquote Ethereum killer, if you will, right? And we're talking about a big wave of investors from at least 2 years or more, 2 years back, who realize, look, I need to look more into blockchains that have faster, TPS, lower gas fees, better finality, better opportunity for an ecosystem. Even let's face this, even when it comes to businesses, think about this. There's so many new businesses that are coming into blockchain technology. You think they want to take a deep dive into, I'm going to invest, millions or maybe billions of dollars into Ethereum? No, they understand, or at least they have a team of people. Might not be a big team, but they're doing their own research. We're doing our own research. You better believe these guys are saying to themselves, hey, XDC is a great opportunity. That's the way I look at it. And I always use this analogy with Shiba Inu, that sideways consolidation. People complain about it. The ones that complain about sideways consolidation of 6 months plus are people, and I'm not bashing anybody. People just have not been in this whole crypto game long enough to, they have been part of the journey long enough to understand that is actually a good thing. It strengthens the asset. That's why a lot of people feel as though XRP is going to pop off. Look at how long XRP has been sitting at, 32 to 40 cents in that particular range for the longest time, and still ranked what, 6th overall, something like that. But anyway, yes, great points you guys brought up. Pull 50 or 25 basis points. I'm stick with 25. I don't think they're going to go to 50 again. I could be wrong. I've been right the last couple of times. All right, let me go further down. Coochie Boy states Filecoin and Polkadot is their fan favorites. Yes. I have been right on the fence also. Not a big bag, but I've been on the fence about getting into Polkadot. I think layer zeros later this year are going to really, really shine. That's just my opinion. But as you guys know, I'm a annual subscriber to Investor Place. They talk about layer zeros quite a bit. There's something to be said about that. Let's go further down to the comments, and then we'll kick it back into the news. Future of staking in the USA, it's in the hands of just that. Once we get regulatory clarity and so on, I think that'll be the foundation of any future we have, because right now we don't have any future thanks to this stupid SEC. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back into the news. Thank you for being here tonight, each and every one of you. Really appreciate you all. Let's kick it back to some of the particular news that we have. We talked a little bit about this whole thing with Conflux. We talked about this whole connection of Japan, China, and so on. Let's get into the Jasmine news. So, shout out to Zippy, who presented this. And you may be thinking, what the heck, Max? This is Travala.com. This isn't Jasmine. Hear me out. Have you ever been to Travala.com? If you have been to Travala.com, you will know that, for instance, you can book vacations, flights, you name it, right? On Travala.com. Well, here it is. And check this out. Jasmine had a big update, all right? And shout out to Zippy. It says big news, Jasmine MGT fans, which, like it says, basically just Jasmine fans. It says Jasmine is live on Travala. Right. Big partnership. Big positive catalyst. It says you can now book millions of travel products around with Jasmine, and we want to send you on your first trip. Now, some people may say, Max, this is not that big of a deal. There's other particular projects that are also on Travala. So what? It's a big positive catalyst, in my opinion, because for all the FUD that's out there saying that this is something that, doesn't have real solid partnerships and so on, this squashes some of that FUD, right? And anyway, you can also do this. Look, you can enter to win $900 in travel. All you have to do is follow Jasmine MGT and also Travala.com, the official one. See, 178,000 followers. Let me go back for a second. So, yeah, follow those two. You could like and retweet, tag your travel buddies. You can tag me. I don't care. It's fine. Do whatever you want. You could tag Boomer Effing Sooner or Coochie Boy or, anybody that is using crypto Twitter, right? Do what you got to do. Who knows? Maybe you'll win. If you do, by all means, give us a shout out for Crypto Talk Now. That'd be cool. But there it is. That's a big positive catalyst. On top of that, I want to show you guys this, and shout out to Zippy. It says, we at Jasmine are very pleased to join the Travala.com platform. I guess just a little bit more reiteration. We hope that our partnership for all the fudders out there with big travel sites like booking.com will make Jasmine widely available to many more users. Very, very cool stuff. All right. Now we are going to go ahead and kick it into our XRP coverage. Now, this is the segment that you've been waiting for. Man, some big news in regards to what Crypto Lulu had to share earlier. I went ahead and fast forward to this hot, juicy part. All Ripple partners from A to Z. This one is roughly about 4 minutes and so on. Man, shout out to Crypto Lulu. He did a really, really good job with this. I'm going to go ahead and play this. By all means, any questions, comments you have, share it. Glad to be back with you guys here tonight, and welcome to the weekend. Hopefully it's a great one for every one of you guys. Please sign up on our website, ctnnetwork.net. you'd be glad you did so. We have forums on there. I got to put some particular guidelines. I just want to state this: no politics, no religion on there. Yeah, it's free speech, but it's very divisive if you do that. I'm gonna try to put a pinned message on the forums there. But yeah, share anything you guys got there. Someone really would appreciate it. And on top of that, if you happen to be a content creator that's visiting us tonight, we're trying to use our website as a utility that kind of, for free utility. You're not asking anything back to help kind of get you guys going and so on, because that's what we're trying to do. We're a community. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and we'll be right back in about roughly 4 minutes. Here we go.
I've looked at the WEF partners and the Ripple partners, and I found all of those in common. And I'm going to tell you one for every letter of the alphabet. Let's go. A, Axis Bank. Ripple has partnered with Axis Bank, enabling the bank's customers in India to receive instant international payments from RAK Bank and Standard Chartered Bank. B, Bank of America. Bank of America plans to partner with Ripple for on-demand liquidity services once the SEC lawsuit against Ripple finishes. C, Citibank. Citi Treasury has extended its partnership with Volanti Technologies, who's a key Ripple partner that uses RippleNet for its VolPay payment processing solution. D, DTCC. They've partnered with R3 to develop and launch its Project Ion platform, and that's being developed as an alternative settlement platform leveraging distributed ledger technology. E, Euroclear. LiquidShare was backed by Euroclear, who partnered with Consensus's Pegasus blockchain to enable scalability and security for blockchain infrastructure. A quick note on Consensus: they link to Ripple via Quant and via R3. You'll be hearing a lot about R3 in this video. F, First National Bank of Abu Dhabi. First National Bank of Abu Dhabi became the first bank in the Middle East to use Ripple's blockchain solution for real-time cross-border payments. G, Goldman Sachs. In a recent report, The Overview of Digital Assets and Blockchain, they identified Ripple as an opportunity in payments alongside Circle and Coinbase, highlighting RippleNet in that document. Was that a bit of a stretch? Let's move on. H, HSBC. HSBC was an early member of the R3 consortium, the creator of Corda DLT platform. I, ING. ING partnered with Ripple to roll out what was then the Xcurrent system. Remember that Xcurrent is now RippleNet. These things have evolved over time. Whenever you hear Xcurrent, that is actually now called RippleNet. J, JP Morgan. JP Morgan partnered with Ripple's partner in the UAE, Al Fardan Exchange, to offer faster and same-day value transfers in fiat currencies. K, Kudelski Security. Kudelski Security partnered with BT Block to offer cybersecurity oversight for blockchain implementations, including Algorand. Algorand then connects to Quant and then to Ripple. Again, maybe pushing it a little bit, but look, these videos are really, really hard to make, especially when the WEF, on some occasions for some letters, only has one partner. I got to find the link somehow. L, London Stock Exchange. Dr. Robert Barnes from the London Stock Exchange Group spoke as a keynote on day one at CordaCon. That's the conference put on by Corda. M, MasterCard. MasterCard and R3 formed a partnership to pilot a new blockchain-based cross-border payment solution. N, NASDAQ. NASDAQ and R3 are connected through the use of R3's Corda platform in NASDAQ's digital asset suite for building DLT settlement services for digital assets. O, Oak North. Oak North partnered with Amazon Web Services, who are a Ripple partner. P, PayPal. Flutterwave, which is an African payment processor and Ripple partner, partnered with PayPal to waive off charges on the first $500 of payments accepted from international customers by Flutterwave merchants via PayPal. Q, Qatar National Bank. They partnered with Ripple to improve cross-border payments and expand its remittance services using RippleNet technology. R, Rabobank. Rabobank partnered with Commerzbank and Euroclear to complete the first real-time commercial paper transactions using blockchain technology, settling instantly with the help of Corda permissioned ledger-based application and operational flows. S, Santander. Santander launched a blockchain-based international payment service called Santander OnePay FX, which uses Ripple's Xcurrent technology. T, TD Bank. TD Bank's one of the 25 banks that partnered with R3 to explore and develop blockchain technology solutions for the financial industry. U, Unicredit. Unicredit is actually a member of RippleNet. V, Visa. Visa and Ripple share a partner. Visa partnered with a Ripple partner, D-Money, in order to integrate Visa Direct into D-Money global payment solutions for lightning speed cross-border payments. W, Western Union. Western Union and TradeWindow use the Ethereum blockchain to connect with CargoX's blockchain-based document transfer solution for global trade. X, XRP. Come on, it was obvious. Y, Yara and IBM. Yara and IBM are partnering to build the world's leading digital farming platform to provide holistic digital services and instant agronomic advice to farmers across the globe. And we all know how IBM are connected in all of this, with the coolest technology name I've ever heard, Hyperledger. And finally, Z, or Z, depending on how you want to say it. Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank are collaborating with Ripple partner Flutterwave to allow its customers to receive and make international payments in African currency. That was exhausting. But I do know one thing. You're feeling a little bit more bullish now, aren't you? If you like this video, subscribe for more, stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.
Any word, and I show you how the root of that word is
XRP.
Well, shout out to Crypto Lulu. You know, I have nothing but mad love and respect for Crypto Lulu. He provides such great research, great content. He keeps everybody so informed, very passionate about what he talks about and so on. Shout out to him, the 3T Warriors Academy and so on, doing it big. Max, you just described Shibarium. I did? All right. Well, hello to Blue Whale Ricky. I wanted to read this again. You did a power shift with link to Quant. Well, it's not financial advice, but, you know, let's face it, guys. I mean, sometimes we got to do what we got to do. I do feel as though we're going to be priced out of Quant. I know some people like basically, you know, what was it? Swing trade, I guess you could say. Quant. Me, no way. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Paula Rose. Hey, Paula. Welcome back. Glad you're feeling better, Max. Well, thanks. Always good to see you, Paula. I'm sticking with all ISO 222 and a few others, keeping some money on the side for Quant in case, because I think we are going to see a possible 40 at the end of the year. $40 for Quant. We've been talking about that for a long time, Paula. I hear you though. Oh, geez. Why did I highlight that? All right. Get 20 Quant and you good. Let me see here. 10,000 XRP and you good. Yeah, I mean, in reality, it's kind of gravy. I mean, you know, it all depends on how long you hold the asset. That could be applied to anything. Well, not anything, but some key ones, right? I mean, Quant, XRP. I mean, some goals that people have is like, you know, 1,000 XRP. Some people have higher. I mean, for me, I think I'm going to go with probably a good start. Maybe I'll take some profits at 1,000 or 1,200 for XRP. Maybe I just say, forget it. I'm not doing that because I'm already comfortable with all, you know, again, the power of your portfolio, not just the power of the DCA. So if you're already into quite a few different projects anyway, and you already seen a nice, I guess you could say, amount of profits from all these various ones, then why would all of a sudden you just dump all these ones that are your nest egg, if you will? That's just the way I personally look at it. And so those are long-term holds for me. But I don't know. I might take a little bit of profit, but at the same time, I might not. I might just be like, you know what? Quant, XRP, those are the ones I don't touch for the longest time. It's, you know, but I will do something, you know, 10,000 XRP. He's doing good. He just doesn't like being in the hospital. You know, he's frustrated. He wants to come home. I understand, but he ended up getting cellulite again, which sucks. You know, it absolutely sucks. And I feel really bad for him because he's been in and out of the hospital. This is 4th time to the hospital since October. And I don't know, man. I mean, you know, nobody wants to be in the hospital, man, eating hospital food. And, you know, I don't know. I just, my heart goes out to him. Obviously, I love my dad. He's the only family I got, at least here in Arizona. And I don't know. It would be so nice if 2023 would end up being like a great year. I think it's going to be a decent year. Obviously, you know, the big years that we're all waiting for is like, you know, 2024, 2025. It might be 20. It just depends, you know, let's face it, there's still cycles. But you know, between 2023 and the end of 2025 and so on, yeah, I guess that sounds right. November 2025, it's gonna be absolutely huge for crypto. I mean, if we've been doing more of our own research, which we have, right? You guys are smart audience, and I'm not just saying that just to say it, but you are. You know what is coming, and so that's the way I look at it. You know, I hope my dad can be around for when he can actually be here to see some of these things and so on. He doesn't understand it. He's at the age where he doesn't really understand what crypto is and so on. But he does know my particular story of 10K to 120K, and that's all. That was good enough for him. And so he even invested in crypto. So he doesn't know what he's invested in. He trusts me and so on. But it's how do you explain the XRP to somebody that, no offense to him, I mean, like the jump from analog television to digital, right? Like he hates digital television. Seriously, he complains about it all the time. Like, why can't I just have my old classic remote, go up and down on the channels, volume up, volume down, channel up, channel down? That's all he cares about. He don't care about getting a description about what the show is about and so on. I mean, in reality, if you think about this, we're always talking about, the speed of TPS for all these different cryptos. So when it comes to cable television, there's something to be said about that. Technically speaking, when it comes to loading up the channels, analog cable is much more faster. And if you guys, of course, many of you guys are, in the age range, you know what I'm talking about. All right, Coochie Boy, Shib's ecosystem will be a one-stop shop for everything. Okay, I guess. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, now I understand what you're talking about in regards to what I said earlier. We're about an hour and a half into the show. We do have more coverage for you guys. I also don't want to turn it to like a 3 or 4 hour long show, so I will try to just get through some of these comments here in a second. Just get 10,000 of each ISO, and then the rest is icing on the cake. Yeah, doesn't help to have unexpected medical bills, but I am more. You know what? Even if I wasn't able to get into Cypherium or LCX or Casper, I'd be more than satisfied with what I got, to be honest. But let's face it, we all want more of everything. I never met a single person who didn't want more of anything. Even the richest people in the world. You gotta try to tell me they don't want more of whatever, they do. And if they state that they don't, then I think they're lying. That's just my opinion. All right, Mark Sky, what do you think of Cypherium? I think it's great. We just talked about it earlier. I think it definitely needs to be part of the whole talk of ISO 222 on that particular list. Cheat sheet 2.0. There needs to be a 3.0. I think there's great upside potential for it. I wasn't even into Cypherium. Or I should say, I wouldn't even known about Cypherium. It wasn't for our community here. So shout out to you guys. It's use cases, or hold on, it's use case season no matter what crypto it is. Yes. B. Ricky, Ollie, Ocean, Gala, Sandbox, Fetch, AI, etc. Yeah, we've talked about ALI since last summer, many times. All right, when nobody else was really. Me, I don't try to brag too much. I'm a humble person, but I will admit on that. Like we did talk a lot about that. ISO Jetpack J0229 Web3 and AI is the fourth industrial revolution. I will agree with that. Yes, great point. All right, Tim Shea. Hey, Mark. Cypherium is very bullish. Max was just talking about. Yep, thank you for that. And let's go further down. Let me see if I missed anything. I don't want to miss anything. I didn't. All right. Amazon will be the new postal service. Drone drop off. Good point. Ricky says he's DCAing until the next halving of Bitcoin and 2025 bull run. All right. Well, the way I look at it, there's a difference between bull runs and all-time highs of bull runs. So I feel as though like all-time highs should be around that particular time, but don't get it twisted. I still think there's money to be made in 2023. For people to say there isn't, that's malarkey. Just look into it for yourself. Many different projects have done all-time highs. Was it Singularity Net? ALI just talked about it. That one we talked about earlier, right? China's only regulated blockchain. Was it CT? I got so many in my head right now. I'm losing track of that, so I apologize. All right. Love the music from Boomer. Magic Power, welcome. Jasmine will reach more than $20 in the next bull run because that's huge, by the way. Because no inflation anymore, 95% of circulation, a good and strong Jasmine team and community. Yeah, I saw the one for 17. This is, some people have said more than 20. I get it, a lot of this that you're mentioning is not anything that's going like right over my head. Trust me, I'm with you. for the most part on a lot of this. And my thing is, combine that with the partnerships, combine that with, what they got going on by, was it June, with the, lifting of the bans with stable coins. There's something to be said about Jasmine. So, I feel bad for people that came in at roughly 4 or 5, but if they held, I mean, there's still money that they can have made there. The only thing that sucks is if a person was soured on the whole thing of Jasmine, let's say they come in at 4, but I mean, guys, let's be honest about this. Let's be honest about this. This could be applied to anything. All right. So let's use Jasmine, for example. Let's say somebody came in at 4 or 5 and they bought, like, I don't know, let's say they just bought like 1,000 Jasmine. If they have it in their head that, man, there's no way I'm going to buy any more Jasmine, but I'm going to hold on to it just, for long term, like you mentioned. Well, it could very well hit 20. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to pay attention to crypto. I'm just going to walk away from it. And then they get a notification that the thing's pumping. It's well past 4, it's past 5, and so on. But they never DCA'd into it. Again, this is why we mentioned the power of the DCA. It gives you a nice average. So if a person just decided to heck with Jasmine and they never came back into it again, I mean, eventually they can make some money, but it can be life-changing money. The life-changing money is basically where it's at right now. I really, truly believe that we already saw bottom, and we did. The bottom of the bottom was, 0.00, was it 2.728, roughly in that particular area, right? Like right at the price of what XTC is at. Then, of course, we see it where it's at now. Was it like, right around the price I think I paid for it, 0.006362. I don't know. That might be the DCA price for me. I don't know. I want to study it a little bit more. But the point is, some of these particular statements, for people on the outside, they see it like, no, there's no way. Excuse me. Some people think, no, there's no way. But look more into it. There's more than a way. Continued partnerships. They're literally almost every week now. We're getting more info about Jasmine with new partnerships, some of the new things they're doing. I even helped with the whole squashing of FUD. And by the way, those 2 or 3 FUDders that were always at me all the time before, it's like I said, Brian, you kind of joking around, joke with me when I say crickets, but it's been crickets ever since. I mean, I literally, I don't know, maybe they come out of the woodwork, but whatever the case be, it has been crickets. They were fudding the crap out of me. Oh, I demand to get an answer for you. And so my thing is this: I will answer you when I darn well feel like answering you. I don't have to answer any of them. There's some fudders, of course, who ask nicely, right? And of course they got to answer. But my point is this: yes, it's been crickets. There is something to be said about what you mentioned about the 94% in circulation. Some people, of course, will come to you and say you're just dreaming, but in reality, that is big in itself. That whole thing, 94% circulation and so on, because it's a different time for Jasmine. It's a different time for crypto in general. It's a different time for these particular countries. Japan. Again, that's like why we mentioned at the very beginning of the show that particular outline. I know it was like a mixture of Quant, XRP, Jasmine, but the point was the connections of the timing of everything. Timing is crucial. Timing is everything. Jetpack J0229, don't try to get in on Jasmine when it's 50 cents. Yes. Just like don't try to get into XRP when it's $10, but people will. So for us, it's like don't get into it at those times, but let's face it, FOMO money will get into it. Like the classic meme of the guy at the ticket window. Nobody's at that ticket window when, like, for instance, XDC is at these particular price levels. But everybody's at that ticket window when XDC is $10 a coin, or Jasmine is, $1 a coin, or XRP is at 1,000 per XRP. You get the point. Cash Cat states, hey guys, I got a small bag of ICP internet computer. Right on. It is a layer 2 for Bitcoin, but also layer 1 on its own. What do you guys think of that project? For me, that was one I was wanting to research more. The reason for it, I know it sounds crazy, but it's been on my watch list for a couple years. On top of that, BitBoy Crypto, and I get it. Not everybody's the big fan of him. Some people are, some people aren't. I watch some of his, content and so on. But here's the key thing. He has been mentioning ICP a lot. And of course, some people say, oh, he's just trying to pump his own bank. Really? I think it's a little bit beyond that. But yeah, it's been one. I said to myself, I need to look more into that. There's something to be said about if he's putting so much emphasis on it. I want to find and understand why that is. And again, it's part of this grocery list. I mean, this grocery list is getting pretty big, to say the least. I mean, there's like 14 on this list now. So do it now. All right. B. Ricky, I'm excited to be part of a bull run. It will be my first time, and I want to be rich as we all do. Well, I'll put it this way. Once you see things going parabolic for you, you won't stop talking about how that affected you. But if anything, I hope you you basically take profits. I mean, like I said, it's not financial advice, but I think anybody can agree that you should take some particular profits. It depends, though, on the project. For me personally, I mean, XRP, Quant, and so on, I'm not taking profits on those. Those are my real long-term ones. But, I mean, if you were able to hit bottom on most of these, or a good portion of them, and you saw, like you're talking about, being part of that true bull run or true all-time highs, always keep track of the difference between something going on a bull run and one's on an all-time high, and plug that number into your head, or get a notification on your phone through the app, because it's crucial. All right. Richard says ICP was big last bull run. Yes, it was. Brian Dowie, Magic, $20 Jasmine. Wow, I'll take it. Yeah. That's where I'm at, Brian. It's I say to myself, well, I like to go all out on Polygon because some of this particular info. At the same time, I'm thinking, what if I wait just a little bit longer with what's going to happen with Jasmine because of the lifting of the stable coins and some of the the things that they're doing, not just for Jasmine, but for Japan in general. That in itself will create even more demand for even Jasmine without even stating that's what it is on the surface. That's a reality. People know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Jasmine is made by all Sony investors. LOL, people, what don't you get? Yes, I totally agree with that. I'm into Jasmine. I have a decent bag of Jasmine. I don't have as impressive bag as some other people, but even if I didn't get more Jasmine, I'd be more than fine with what I got, because I basically came close to bottom. All right, Richard states, came out of nowhere to 20, I think. All right. We're going to get a little bit more into the news here in a bit. I want to welcome a few more people. I'm going to read this real quick. Magic Power says, number 3, the regulations from Japan's government for crypto will given up. Will given up. Let me read that again. I'm just checking out the time real quick. For the great and big support from Sony and Japan's government. Yeah, absolutely. Great facts right there. Thank you for that. XXI Gaming's in the house. Thanks for being here, XXI. It says 100. Good. What's good, everyone? What's good is you, the house. Booyaka. Thanks for being here, XXI. And let me go further down. You love Jasmine. Have a big. Cool. All right. Everybody, welcome XXI, and rightfully so. I mean, even with, that's another one thing I was going to mention, Stratos. He's always talking about Stratos. So with me, Stratos is not one I've been paying close attention to. If it did dump down, I should say dump. If it went back down to 42 cents, I think that's my entry point for Stratos is 42 cents. And that's another one I've been even thinking about, just going all out on. I mean, we saw recently as high as 90 cents. Some of you guys are into it long term. Shout out to XXI. He told us about Stratos a while back. To me, that's a really good project. Lots of even for the short term and even long term, right? As some of us, we have more than enough projects that we're into for the long term, and we want to have some nice short term games. Stratos is so. I have a different list. I have a list of short term gainers. Shout out to Mike Cornwell. I know he's not really in the comments right now, but maybe he's watching from far away or something like that, or from the other room. So I've been even paying more attention to Bitcoin Pay. I saw it the other day. BTC Pay was like 125% up like parabolic, basically, right? It's just like, wow, if I would have had a nice, decent entry point on it, that would have been like a power show. So I'm paying attention to all these. Bitcoin Pay, I'm paying attention to, I'm not the biggest meme token guy, but I even pay attention to DC chain, right? DC. I pay attention to Stratos, obviously Polygon, all these particular ones that I feel as though could these be a real good, nice swing trade for me. We talk about Ali. I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm really on the fence. I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm not joking about it. You'll hear more about it if I do. Anyway, and then I might not. I mean, if I get like a bunch of crazy, amount of more medical bills, obviously I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm still going to get into LCX, Cypherium, and Casper. I'll at least have a decent entry points. Anyway, we have a little bit more from Magic Power's outline, and then we'll kick it back into the news because we really need to. Magic Power says the number 5, the big relationships and projects to very big companies. I think that's a typo. And Asian consortiums. 6, the next bull market will be huge. Many banks, financial institutions, companies will go into crypto, especially after, I know that I'm hopping on the bandwagon with it, but it's true. If it's a true statement, why not? So shout out to was it Black Small Capitalist Verson Larja? He has stated that once we get regulatory clarity, that's where you have a massive wave of the institutional money coming in, and that simply makes sense. How do we know that? You got to base it off of history, and when things like that happen, you see massive waves come in. So yeah, the crypto connection, ones with real solid utility, and if anything, those are the ones that will last or prove themselves the test of time. All right, let's go further down. Magic Power says crypto will become mainstream. I don't know what that is, and big use cases that it has huge potentials and upcoming projects. All right, I'll read 2 more from you, man, and then I got to kick it back into the news. All right. Magic Power, Jasmine still under the radar when it starts up over $1 before the real bull run begins. A very big hype will begin. The price will be much more than $17. That is predicted from the Jasmine team. Wow. Mark Sky says, hello, new member here. Well, welcome, Mark Sky. If you guys haven't welcomed Mark, please do so. And then this one, number 9, whales and big companies like Binance hold it, and they will pump it very hard to the upside for smart people. Jasmine is very hot. All right. Thank you for that. So let's see here. I want to welcome back Keegan Kang. What price you see Quant hitting in the short term? Well, maybe 150, probably about 150. Not like happening tomorrow or anything like that. I want to welcome Rafael Santos, and let's kick it back into the news after I welcome Kev Cleveland. What's up, all LCX? All right. All right. How about this? I'll read this one last one. I swear I'll kick it back into the news. Max, that's a very good point about not cashing out XRP bags if the rest of your portfolio is booming. Yes, that's the key thing. Understand which ones you feel as though are solid long-term projects, and if anything, set goals ahead of time. I've already done this myself, but I say not financial advice, but I will get advice on this. Set your future goals. If your future goals are 1,000 XRP, be devoted to that goal. 10,000 XRP, where the case be. If it's quant, right? Some people, you have over 100 quant. I wish I had over 100 quant, right? It makes things a lot easier. But at the same time, just because, let's say you have over 100 quant, right? But you've already seen many projects that have put you over to millionaire status. Now you are a millionaire, right? And you're going to tell me that all of a sudden you're going to cash out all your quant, all your other, ISO project ones and so on? To me, no. If I already make millionaire status before I reach some of these goals for quant, XRP, and so on, I am not touching those until I reach my goals that I have set in stone, like right now. For me, it's XRP, like 10,000, or maybe take some profits at 1,000. Quant, right? some of my particular goals is depending on how much I have, but I would say at minimum, I know it sounds nuts. Some people would be like, I'm gonna hold you to that. Well, I don't care. Hold me to it. Freedom of thought, which is always violated, by the way, especially as a content creator. But what's up with that? Content creators can have freedom of thought. Somebody else talked about this earlier today. I think it was, what's his name? Clayton Morris from Redacted. I don't know if you guys watch Redacted. He talked about this, about the whole freedom of thought. If you're a content creator, like, you can't have any freedom of thought. The heck I can't. But anyway, my thing is this. I'm sticking with that. So my big goal is 10,000 in XRP. As far as XLM, I really have to rethink that over. So I'm going to throw that out there. XDC, I really have to, think that over. I almost said XDC, well, Mike Tyson, XDC. Anyway, nothing against Mike Tyson. Anyway, by the way, Mike Tyson used to live in the Phoenix area. Anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, pick out your particular goals. So for me, quant, 100,000 per quant. I am literally sticking to that like all the way, because the way I look at it, that's going to take probably a while to get to that. But maybe it's only, like I said, originally, maybe it is only like a few years away. But I think at 100,000, I definitely would take some profits. I want to cash out all of it, because I feel as though that quant could very well be $1 million coin by 2030. I think that could very well be possible. And here's why it's possible. So for all the people who, if there's anybody here that's connected and saying that this guy, man, I never been here before, this guy is absolutely full of crap, that's okay. I could take that. I could absolutely take that. Here's why I will state this, that quant could very well be the first $1 million coin by 2030. And I'll just give you the quick gist of it. If Bitcoin with no utility, zero utility, and I get the whole thing about the Satoshi white paper and all that, don't get me wrong, but if Bitcoin was able to go to 69K with no utility, then quant can easily do 100,000 plus given. All right. Yes. All right. Let's go further down. All right. And if anything, thanks for sending prayers to my dad. I appreciate that. I'm going to kick it back into the comments or the news. I'm going to do it right now. I'm just going to highlight that. Thanks for being here. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. 64 lovely, beautiful people, as Larry would say. Please smash that like if you have done so already. And if you're new, please consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. And don't take this the wrong way by any means. If you're new, drop any question or comment you have. We were all there at one point. This is not, you're hopping into a Call of Duty lobby or game server and people are calling you noobs and stuff like that, make it funny. This is a much more mature audience. We don't look at it that way, but we were all newbies at one point. And so this is part of the crypto journey. And if anything, you are going to fail in some certain things, and someone's you're not. You could get lucky, but whatever the case be, whatever background you have, welcome. We're glad to have you here tonight. All right. So we talked about the whole thing with Jasmine a little bit. Shout out to, again, Zippy for providing the information. We are now going to kick it a little bit more back into a little bit more XRP. I saw this earlier, and I don't know who shared it with me, but I'm glad, of course, just bring it to you guys. So here it is. And here it is. Again, oh my God, they mentioned XRP and XLM as global stable coins. You know how we've been talking about this for a while? I think, shout out to Sean, my fellow co-host on Mondays. I know last Monday I wasn't here. I missed that show. We had a really good lineup of what we're going to talk about. We'll probably, talk more about that and so on. But we did talk about for quite a while, and you guys have been mentioning in the comments and so on, this whole concept about XRP and XLM being global stable coins. Now, again, as the saying goes, don't get it twisted. Understand that the stable coin doesn't necessarily mean a 1-to-1 ratio or pegged to $1. That's a different form of stable coin. A stable store of value. What does it mean? What does it entail? And why is it so big to see some of these particular headlines listed? Well, check this out. They mention XRP and XLM as global stable coins on the World Bank website. Wow. Big, huge news, right? But yet XLM is not a body member of ISO 222. Well, I don't know about that, right? I might have to fact check that. No, not through Snows. Anyway, don't make it political. Anyway, how much more clear does it need to be for the, I'm not going to mention that either, to comprehend it? Oh, yeah, that's right. They can't. They have no common sense. All right, so let's blow this up. This was reported yesterday, and I appreciate this guy's passion. So, this comes from openknowledge.worldbank.org. That's big for in itself. I did go through this earlier, and it does show this, so you can look it up for yourself. So it says stable coins for cross-border payment. Stablecoin refers, as we know, to a class of digital currencies that are relatively stable in terms of their price, right? Not just the 1-1 ratio of like to a dollar, right? Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments, as many cryptocurrencies, as we know, do. On top of that, they offer stability with respect to their parity against fiat currencies. And that's the key thing here, against fiat. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are, listen to this, RippleNet's native digital currency, as we know, XRP, and even Stellar Lumen's XLM. Key thing is highlighted here, and it's mentioned on the World Bank. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster, more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. Now we understand the rest of this, but look at what states on the bottom. Ripple is a real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and a remittance network created by Ripple Labs, Inc. as a U.S.-based technology company. Officially mentioned from the World Bank. That probably deserves what? A mic drop moment, right? It does. Yeah, that is excellent content. This person, there's always the naysayers. XRP can't be a stable coin. Really? Because I think it could be, because it has to have, and remember, Crypto Lulu stated this. If you've been following him, please follow him. He has mentioned that XRP has to be a stable coin at some point, because if you're transferring all of that money, and we know it's going to be transferred a ton of money, you have to have something that's not going to be extremely volatile to transfer all of that. So therefore, that makes sense. Again, nothing against this guy, but he needs to do more of his own research. We go to the next particular page. Look what it says here. The potential role for ISO 222. One way forward is to align crypto assets with ISO 222. And of course, we know about this. It says the standard that defines the development of financial messaging standards. Messaging standards describe formally the content of business messages exchanged by market participants to complete business processes, such as settling transactions or issuing corporate action notifications and instructions. They also describe the roles played by the different links in transactions chain and the message flows required to complete a particular transaction. And let me take a moment to just state this. We put so much emphasis on the speed, but it's also the security. How about this? We talk about the whole thing of, transferring, let's just throw this example, $1 trillion. I think there was a particular company, I forgot who, somebody mentioned this earlier today. There's a particular country that looks, or a particular bank, I should say. Maybe it's the Bank of England, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you guys have seen this particular clip. So let's requote this. Not to the exact quote, but close to it. I think it's the Bank of England mentioned that they're looking to do 1 trillion transactions. Now, with that said, yes, it's important to understand the whole thing about speed, but the whole thing with safety is huge in itself. I don't know if it was Crypto Lulu or somebody else mentioned specifically that with this new blockchain technology that's going to be tied into with ISO 222 and of course the financial sectors of the world, we're going to reach points where it's not just about the speed, but slowing down the particular transaction when needed. Now, why would you want to do that? When there is a security breach of any sort of huge magnitude, you need to have that happen. How does it happen? Well, if anything, it can be done with particular blockchain technology. Now, of course, there's more in regards to the semantics that you see here and so on. Let me kick it to the third particular page and look what it is. Again, it's circled. World Bank Group talks specifically about central bank digital currencies for cross-border payment, a review of current experiments and ideas. Now, again, the original brochure was November 2021, but again, it comes specifically from the World Bank. And it's making recent news, and people are highlighting this, because a lot of times things are published, let's face it, in the news. Actually, I shouldn't even say the news, in a brochure that people didn't see. And again, it's taking a blast to the past to have an idea of why this is huge, because we're right at the doorstep of this being kicked off March 20th. which, if I'm not mistaken, looking at my phone, is less than a month from now, right? Pretty powerful stuff. We have more XRP coverage for you guys. I want to kick it back to the comments for just a brief bit. But anyway, I saw that and I said to myself, man, that is massive. All right. Mike's Crypto, first timer here. Have you ever checked out Darren Moore Jr. Great XRP stuff? Maybe I have and just didn't realize it. But yeah, there's a lot of good content creators out there, not just Crypto Lulu, not just some of these other guys. I watched Zach Rector. Shout out to Crypto Mike, aka Mike Cornwell. He originally months ago said, "Man, you gotta check out Zach Rector. He does it big." There's obviously, how about Crypto Hulk? As some of you guys would say, you guys don't even call Crypto Hulk. Shame on you. You guys refer to him as the man with the hair, and I had to figure that one out. Or the man with the Brillo pad on the back. I'm like, the Brillo pad. It's just horrible stuff. But anyway, Crypto Hulk could take the same message I gave you and basically be like, look, there's some breaking news I just found out on this, and just like, how did you do that, Crypto Hulk? Well, that's what he does. He's really gifted at that. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're a fan of XRP. You know what you have, what you hold. Hopefully you're into it. You got a position. But guys, if you haven't done so already, let's welcome Mike's Crypto. We have another Crypto Mike. So we got Crypto Mike, Mike's Crypto. How many more mics we'll get? That's all right. Big Watch Dude, prayers for Max's pops. Yes, thank you very much. He definitely needs it. I just don't like, who wants to see their dad continuously in the hospital? You know what I mean? Like, and knowing that, I mean, since 2013, I've been dealing with either my mom or my dad in the hospital. You guys know the story about my mom. She passed away in 2019, but she had a long, hard battle with cancer, 6 years and 4 months to the day. And it's been real tough being I'm the only caregiver for a family. I'm not complaining, we all have problems, it's not like that. It's just, it's challenging. So, last Monday I was like, man, there is no way. I try my best, because I have a theater background, and in theater, you got to turn the emotions on and you got to turn them off. But last Monday, man, with the combination of not feeling well and everything that was happening with my dad, I was just like, I am not going to come on camera and do this right now. I'm not going to do that. And you guys know me. I mean, if I can be here, I'll be here, So I give shout out to Larry for holding down the fort. I really, really appreciate him. He is. I want you guys to know this, right? Larry, we're good friends, but we're more than just friends. Like, I love that guy like a brother. I really do. And we have a real nice thing that we're building up here at CTN. And I am more than thankful and appreciative for each and every one of you guys who've been here from the beginning. Like, shout out to Cody Core that Friday where it's just him and like one other person who could just been a random person who connected. I don't know. To days like this. So thank you. And thank you, Tim Shea. All right. Cash Cat states, as when to take profits? Well, I think if the 4-year cycle stays consistent on the next run, then right around June 2025 is about to peak. Yeah. But also keep in mind, and that's a great point, Cash, but I want to state this. I hope that you guys have some kind of portfolio manager. All right. So whether you use the free one of CMC or your paid service one, like from 3-2 Warriors Academy, shout out to Shiny Crypto. He has that Merlin one, right? I was telling you guys about that. I might do a video about Merlin. It's probably not going to get many views because every time we talk about tool, it doesn't. It needs to be specifically about crypto, and I get it. But whatever you use, have a good portfolio manager because you want to pay attention to when your particular crypto project had all-time highs. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to just think about this. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but you want to pay attention to specifically that because then you know when to take profits when you need to. You also know that you can appreciate that, wow, maybe I should take profits because according to what it says on this, I'm just using an example. This project didn't have all-time highs for over 2 years. Well, now they're having all-time highs. What if they don't have all-time highs for a while? And of course, I'm not talking about, XRP and some of those and so on. I mean, obviously, like I was mentioned before, have your particular expectations, or not expectations, your goals laid out. But if it happens to be some project that, you're just kind of thinking about getting into, and you finally got into it, and let's face it, it only had been around for, I don't know, 6 months or a year, or whatever the case be. Or how about this? Meme tokens. I know, Coochie boy, I love you, man. You're probably gonna say, "Oh God, here it comes. It's gonna bash meme coins." I'm not bashing meme coins, but I also at the same time, I have a lot of meme coins. And a lot of times you guys talk about like, the ones that you're into and so on. You may think I don't have any meme coins. Are you kidding me? I have more than my share of meme coins. I'm gonna state this: for me, I will see what profits I get out of those, and then once I get any type of profit, I'm out of those. And then those, I don't recall the power shift, because I mean, I don't know, a couple $1,000, $4,000. I mean, it's not bad, but I'll use that to put towards these solid projects, whether they're ISOs or whether it's just utility based, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Have a portfolio manager. Please have a portfolio manager, because it will help you. And then whatever ones that you feel as though, man, these are going to pop off here soon, like real soon, say to yourself, and I do it, you know what I mean? Like, I think Polygon is one I basically do. So I believe with Polygon, I'm not doing a share screen on this one. I'll just pull it up real quick. Polygon's all-time highs, excuse me, were $2.88 roughly. So for me, it's like, some people are stating that the next bull run, this is going to be higher than that. Well, they don't know that. I don't know that. We don't know that, right? But that might be a good example, right? So there's some other projects, like, let's face it, I know that a lot of you guys are into Gala. I know I think Tim Shea told me how to pronounce it right. Maybe Larry did. Somebody told me how to pronounce it right. That's beside the point. Fiat, right? I kind of mess it up sometimes, but whatever ones you closely follow in your head, even, you should have an idea of what those all-time highs are. It's so important you pay attention to that, because if you didn't notice all-time highs for at least 2 years, I would say, right? Or even, how about this, at a minimum of a year, you have got to make that decision of, well, do I take some profits? And if so, how much of those profits are you going to take? Are you going to take 25%? You're going to take, half of your position? Some people say cash out half, keep a moon bag, whatever the case be, but you have got to be prepared for that. And, for some people, they do what? They do the whole thing of advanced sell, either through the app or through the website. And so my thing is this: I don't want to see any of you guys get wrecked. I especially don't want to see you get wrecked when it comes to taking your profits. That's the main thing. All right. I want to see us all make it. When I say something like we're all going to make it, well, I mean that, but at the same time, you got to be smart about it, and I know that a lot of you guys are, but, especially goes out for some of the, your newcomers that we have here. You might be new to crypto. You need maybe somebody, whether it's myself or whoever, telling you, hey, you know what? Pay attention to that stuff. So if you are brand new and you want a free one, go to coinmarketcap.com, register there, and always keep track of what you paid for the particular crypto. So like, here's a particular example, right? I'll throw it into the mix because it's based off myself. So, like Doge, all right, came into Doge at a penny even, right? So I write the date of when that happened, penny even. CMC is going to ask me, how much should I pay for that Doge? I put in the amount that I paid, and I also put in the quantity, and all that helps you keep track of all that. And then, of course, then go into CMC, do the watch list, and add to your favorites all those particular things. That way you will know, and you'll see it build up. And it's a nice, beautiful thing, because it gets you excited about what's going to happen for the near future and so on. And if you have one that pops off soon, that could give you an idea of where, I mean, how about this? If you saw in your portfolio that you were like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw an example. You only had like $1,000 or something like that. And then all of a sudden, a few days from now, let's say the market gets a lot better, and all of a sudden you notice on your portfolio that you were at $1,000, and now you notice you're at 1,400. For me, as somebody started off, I'd be pretty excited. I'd be like, wow, I'm up $400. For some of us, it's like, no big deal. But come on, guys, let's be real. That is a huge leap for somebody who just started off. All right. But yeah, thank you again for all you guys in regards to my dad, Brian, Stump, everybody. MaximusCrypto, first time here. Have you ever checked? Yeah, just state that one. I might have read some of these comments again before. Sorry about that. As far as when to take profits, I think for your cycle, I think I read that too. My bad. Did I lose my spot? Maybe I did lose my spot. But yeah, I'm glad people are welcome. MaximusCrypto. Yes, hello everyone. He states, thank you so much, Boomer F and Sooner. The Crypto Smith, let's go. 4-hour stream on board. No, I don't want to do a 4-hour stream. Not tonight, guys. Sorry, I'm not in the mood to do a 4-hour stream tonight. I think if anything, if we did maybe close to 3, maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see. The only way I'm doing a 4-hour stream is if I don't know. How about for the low cost of $999? I do a very long, 4-hour stream. Well, for that price, Max, I might as well do 9-hour stream. I don't know. And then a 4-hour stream, the only place open, because I'm probably not going to cook tonight because we've been cooking too many nights in a row. If I do a 4-hour stream, the only place open in town will be, I know it sounds crazy, but it would be my local Wiener Schnitzel. And for the lower price at $9.99, I could get myself 5 chili dogs and eat 2 of them tonight and have the other 3 later on. Anyway, never mind. All right. Let me go further down. 4-hour stream. Oh, jeez. You guys want the 4-hour stream, huh? I think you're just saying that. All right. You guys asking these trade questions. Ajax was such a good trade for me. Yeah, we covered that multiple times. The only thing is I had on the bulletin board to do a deep dive, but we did cover AGIX since 4 cents many months ago. For you guys who have been watching this for the longest time, it did get mentioned quite a few times on our live streams consistently. I mentioned that it was a good swing trade, good long-term trade, and if anything, what was the main thing? It was a great It was the standout project for the Cardano ecosystem. Yes. All right, Crypto Smith. Yes, Tim, no different. Every other policy project might be money there, but as he stated before, none of these types have lasted. Get in and take your profits. Yes. Excuse me, I was muted. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one. And here's the thing. Hold on a second. Hopefully I didn't get too... lost my place in the comments. Jeez. Want to welcome Mike Cornwell. I want to kick it back into the news. So here we go. And let's go ahead and do that. And it's a little bit more in regards to XRP. So lots of XRP news today. Yes. Shout out to this particular person who's Edo Farina. Kind of sounds like a meal that I have. No offense. That I made. I took a screenshot, a while back. I made chicken Florentine, right? Anyway, but shout out to Edo Farina, XRP Army. It says, boom, XRP, the most popular asset in Japan. Again, a little bit more reiteration about what some of the key highlights from earlier in regards to this whole thing about Japan. Big topic of today is what? The country of Japan. That's the main key takeaway. Whether it's Jasmine, whether it's XRP, you can even throw Quant into the mix, right? But Japan is setting themselves up for big things in regards to crypto. It says, according to Hong Kong study, XRP had the highest spot trading, being more popular than even the US. Well, let's face it. That's to be expected, especially with everything and with the SEC and so on, right? XRP emerges as the most popular digital asset in Japan, outpacing Bitcoin. Now, this was, of course, originally published on February 20th, just about, 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken? 4 days ago. Still pretty fresh. But I thought that was big. I mean, who doesn't want to hear about this, especially with, the recent crash and so on. So it says a recent study of the City of Hong Kong University has found that XRP cryptocurrency associated with Ripple is the most popular digital currency in Japan. The study, which has been circulating on Twitter, reveals that XRP's popularity in Japan, I should say, even surpasses that of the United States. It's awesome to see this stuff. I don't know. Maybe you guys think, not all you guys. Maybe some people are like, I don't know. Show me the SEC loss, and then we hit $10 in XRP, and then I'll be more impressed. I don't know. Some people are that way. All right, a little bit more in regards to our XRP coverage. Shout out to Mr. Man. He follows me. I follow him. I think he's a great content creator, even though he hides himself behind the mask. So what? It's the message that he brings to the table. Please follow him. He's a great content creator, and he does a really good job of getting some of the nitty gritty. I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Crypto Hulk, but he's Spider-Man. Wow, that's a bad analogy. And he doesn't have as much hair on the back. Well, possibly, but we don't know that for sure because we'll never know because he wears that mask and he wears a costume. Anyway, forget that. The point is this. What you're going to see here in regards to this particular interview, it states R3 states that it's time to make money more fluid for cross-border payments and remove the lumps. This is pure gold, even though we know about the XTC connection with gold. Anyway, you have in this particular interview Ricardo Corriera. He's the head of digital currencies, part of R3. And of course, you have Nick Kerrigan, who's like, rock on, dude. Freaking, rest in peace to Meatloaf, man. Yeah. Right. Well, in reality, I do miss Meatloaf, and it's a shame to see a lot of our great rock stars pass away. Anyway, but he is the head of innovation at Swift. This is a really neat clip that XRP Man put together. I'm gonna play it. Let me know what you think, because if anything, I mentioned countless times, the R3 quarter connection is huge. You're going to hear a lot about, of course, XRP and some of these other ones. But what I want you to pay close attention to is what Ricardo Corriera is going to mention here, because we can even throw ALBT into this mix. And the reason why we can throw ALBT into this mix is listen to what he has to state about identity. And if we know anything about ALBT, we know how crucial and important Nexera ID is, because it is the utility layer, if you will, when it comes to bring in utility-based NFTs, if you will, to the whole mix and so on, right? Tying that in is huge. So let's play this. We'll come back. It's only about a minute and a half, and then we'll bring you guys some more news. Here we go.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm conscious. I'm looking at the stream here, and there are loads of questions coming in. So I'm going to ask you one last one from me, Ricardo, and then we're going to go to the stream's questions. So quick fire one. Over the next few years, what do you think like the top 3 sort of transformational use cases for blockchain will be?
Ooh, okay. Well, it'll have to be in capital markets, payments, and identity. So, let me just give you a quick view of what that means. So in capital markets, the continued digitization of all assets and asset classes, I think, is really exciting. So, the digitization of property and cars and what have you, and then the ability to trade those things in primary, secondary, and even tertiary marketplaces. I think that's going to be cool. Money. So the movement of money moving from lumpy to liquid. So, today money is very lumpy, right? You get paid every month or every couple of weeks. Why don't you get paid every second?
Right.
And we move money cross-border, but we don't send emails cross-border. Of course, governance and legislation is different on money versus data, but still, I think that certainly will see a shift of money being more fluid. And then on identity, if we consider what's happening with Web3, the promise of bring your identity to the internet and the identity is yours, sovereign identity is something that I think we still need to solve. We've been talking about it for a very long time, but hopefully now is the time to get it right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because, you totally can include some of these other ones. I mean, Obviously ALBT, like we was mentioned with the whole thing with identity. So shout out to XRP man for bringing that. Great content creator. On top of that, I do want to bring you guys this, and shout out to XRP Riz, who also follows me, and he does have great content. I appreciate the shout out that he gave me for Jasmine. He also doesn't just cover XRP, covers Jasmine as well. I thought that was really cool. But it says the benefits of Liquidity Hub. Are you guys familiar with this particular thing with Liquidity Hub? Well, if you're not, this gives you a really nice gist of what that is. So I thought I'd bring this to our community. This is 1 minute and 16 seconds. Going to go ahead and play it. And then after this, we'll kick it back into the comments for a brief bit. Here we go.
Crypto is here. It's no longer an idea or on the horizon. It's already the reality of how businesses and people trade, move, and manage value. But despite a growing desire by businesses to engage in crypto, integrating digital asset solutions is complex. It often requires cumbersome integrations, has high costs, and involves engaging with fragmented, slow, and costly fiat payout landscape. At Ripple, we built Liquidity Hub to seamlessly bridge the new world of digital assets with the traditional world of fiat. The experience is plug and play, encompassing a single API connection into a breadth of liquidity pools. It offers optimized pricing via smart order routing, and through Ripple's suite of products, best-in-class last-mile fiat payouts into global jurisdictions will be available. Liquidity Hub powers interoperability between crypto and fiat systems, bridging digital assets seamlessly. Partner with Ripple for your crypto liquidity needs today.
All right, so glad to bring that to you guys. I want to welcome some people. I want to welcome Calvin. I also want to welcome River, if I haven't welcomed you already. Mr. Watermelon Crypto Sugar Highs in the house. Also wanted to welcome Ricky Tiffy. And this particular person, I haven't seen you before, got to be the shoes. How you feel about HBAR? Well, the way I look at when it comes to HBAR, that's another long-term hold for me. I know it sounds like an overused analogy, but like even Dr. Lehman Baird has used this particular analogy in the past, regards to them being like the Amazon of crypto. So that is actually one that I'm not looking to take profits off the top. I'm not saying for everybody to do that. If you got to do it, do it. For me personally, that's the way I look at it. So I'm super impressed with HBAR. I think Dr. Lehman Baird is the most impressive, smartest person in crypto, personally. What he created with Hashgraph, what was it, back in 2017 or maybe even before then. Watch some of his particular lectures. If anything, go to our channel, go to the recorded video section. I have a deep dive in regards to HBAR. You'll see some of those older lectures from Dr. Lehman Baird. He is so impressive. So combine that with all their particular partnerships, and not just like okay partnerships, like really huge partnerships. Google, IBM, Boeing, NASA. I mean, like these are really big names. I think even is IG's part of that, but those are the real big standout ones. I'm just really, really impressed with them. That was another one I was like, you know what? I'm actually satisfied with what I have with HBAR, but again, I could own a little bit more. So I might DCA into it like one more time. But then after that, I mean, it just gets to the point where it's just like, okay, well, how greedy do I want to get? And in reality, it's greed to a sense. We all want more of what we have. And for some of us, we just want to have a position of whatever is out there that we haven't got into yet. All right. But I do agree. Yes, it's a sleeping giant. Absolutely. Will Smith, that like button. Yes. Thank you very much. I hope you guys do that. It doesn't cost anything. Just got a bag of Jasmine. Cool. You must have came in at, let's talk about that real quick. So you came in at what? 0.6 something, 0.006 something another. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to share that real quick. So Cash Cats came in roughly around this particular number. And that's a nice point to come into. So you came in actually less than I came into originally. I came in, I think, 0.0062 or something, or 63. So right on. Not too bad. And, you know, if anything, if it shows that like you might not even be in the profits yet, don't look at it from that particular point of view. Look at it from the point of view that this is one you're going to hold to, you know, whatever expectation that you're looking for. And it's not this hopium, all right? You know that there's some real solid things happening here. Currently ranked 132. Think about how many projects don't even have that kind of a rank. Let me double check some settings. I want to make sure I'm not muted. That would suck. But yeah, the ranking's not bad. On top of that, 90, you know, this increased the percentage. Hey, how about that? Here's some new news that you didn't see anywhere else. Our circulating supply increased 1%. You may think that's not significant. It is significant. So we're now up to 95% on the circulating supply. Combine that with some of these new partnerships they have and so on that we actually did confirm. You know, some of the big news that is obviously going to happen in June, unless they delay it. I don't see that happening. But the key thing here from all of the coverage that we had tonight is Japan, you know, is doing big things in regards to crypto, right? Doesn't matter if it's Jasmine, XRP, Quant, you name it, right? So that's a pretty decent position to come in. I think just off of the surface, let's say you came in at this particular price, so that would be, but you know, if you were to buy 100,000 of them, that'd be $613 plus fees or whatever. So let's say you came in at $620, something like that, right? Maybe $625, might be higher, right? Maybe $650. I don't know which exchange you got from. Excuse me, got allergies, but roughly around that particular price range. If you bought 100,000 of these, it'd be right around $613. Plus some change for fees. And, you know, maybe you did do 100,000, maybe you did less, you're going to DCA more, whatever the case be. But let's just throw that particular example. This goes to $1. That's based off what I just mentioned. That's $100,000. That last I checked, it's not too bad. It's better than a kick in the butt, right? I think I get you rich, but that is not too shabby. So, I mean, I think that's all why a lot of people are looking at Jasmine a little bit more, not just because of the price. I mean, that's a big factor, right? But also understanding that this has very well hit bottom, and it's what they have going on here soon. All right, so shout out to you. Just wanted to point that out on that particular entry point. Let's go further down. Quant is a sleeping monster. I totally agree with you on that. Cool. I have to definitely check out that particular Jasmine video. I'm going to be releasing the video soon as well. Same with Quant. Quant will be king. Everybody loves Quant. That's cool. XRP, King of Kings. Ask Rosie Rios. Yes, former treasurer. Crypto Smith. Yes. All right. I'm at $30 Quant. LOL. All right, let me VeChain. Anybody bullish on that? I think Waddy is. I don't know. Here's the thing. I covered VeChain. All right, I should say covered. I've been talking about VeChain even long before I joined up with Larry. Right, I talked about it on MaximusCrypto. I even talked about a lot about my friends. And the main key thing I've always mentioned was the main utility that I was hoping that they're going to make. And I'm not trying to make it sound like FUD. It's just that's the thing. Can we get the main utility made already? And I guess if it was made, then the price would go crazy. Let's be honest. But I still think there's a lot of potential with them, and it's still very, very cheap, like on sale. So, but for me personally, I'm probably not going to get into it. I have to be honest. There's just so many other ones I want to get into, but that doesn't mean that I'm flooding it to the degree where I'm saying don't get into it. If you're fully convicted on it, you're like, man, I love what VeChain. The VeChain is going to have something huge happening here soon. Then go for it. Do what you got to do. All right. Now watch. somebody's going to take a screenshot or video or something like, oh, hey, watch this, Max. You know, you're going to eat your words. VeChain just popped off. Those things happen. I live with that. So, but yeah, I remember when I was first into altcoins early in January of 2021, I would talk all the time about VeChain to my friends, saying, you know, this whole thing is scan a barcode and, you know, they'll see if it's a real, you know, you really got a real Louis Vuitton purse, or you really got a real, I don't know, real Air Jordans or real Rolex or whatever the case be. But we've been saying, at least for me, I don't know. I hope people don't think this is fun, but you know, that's been a while for that. So, I mean, if I see news that they got something solid in which that main utility is coming out soon, then maybe I do pull the trigger and finally get into it before this thing takes off. I'll have to find out more about that. Maybe I got to double check about that. 2 hours to go. Oh, geez. All right. I'm on Audius now. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. You took advantage of their platform. Right on. See, that's what I love hearing. I love seeing that, you know, artists are recognizing Audius and they're getting into it. So that's super cool. Right on, Michael. Very, very cool. And if you guys want, follow Michael Montclair on YouTube, because if anything, he has great music. Just type in Michael Montclair, just like you see right here. You go right to his particular YouTube page. He has a great voice. All right, let me go further down. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, like I just said, I think that is cool. Yeah. Wow, I'm way behind if that's the case. 8:55. Jeez. All right. 99% of people I talk to think crypto is a scam and is a waste of money. We'll see. How about this? At one point, when Bitcoin first came around, there's so many people who said, don't get into that. That's a scam. All right. So for me personally, I was hearing all this crap about like MLMs and stuff like that, you know, multi-level marketing. And at the time, multi-level marketing's brand, it was, or the label of it was so bad that they renamed it to network marketing, because people that, you know, got whiff of, it smells like multi-level marketing. I'm gonna get away from that. It's a pyramid scheme or whatever. But at the same time, think about what happened with Bitcoin. You know, it's just, it's like a lot of things. If something's brand new, some people just will give it the label of scam, even though it's not a scam. But that is a reality. You know, my thing is this: understanding the difference between solid utility and the technology that is involved in it. Blockchain technology is an ever evolving, you know, technology, not just utility. Where the scams come from is when people do the shady stuff, you know, like Sam Bankman-Fried, or, you know, a blatant rug pull of like Squid Game, right? Or Suzuki Inu, or, you know, Galaxy Snake and stuff like that. All right, how about this? I'm gonna read this. Jetpack J0229. Can anyone Google the all-time high for Robonomics RWS? People, it is unheard of. It beat Bitcoin. Huh. All right, Mike's Crypto. Yeah, somebody could look that up. Yosh. Oh, wow. I don't know if I can say that. Running through. Okay. All right. Update on Crypto Hulk, huh? Brian Dowie. Crypto Hulk finds some good-ish early, that's for sure. Yeah, he does. Or he pulls some off the paper that nobody else actually saw and just can make some of. He's pretty gifted at doing that. Much love to you and your family, brother. I feel you. Well, thank you very much. Whether that's pointed at me or somebody else. Mike's Crypto. LOL, me and Mike had even been on the same show at the same time. I don't see him as much. Huh, okay. People in this sector of crypto are in a place to try to build generational wealth to help, not for greed. I think you mean. Larry is a great guy. Yeah, he is. Max, this live stream is my absolute favorite. You and this community are great. Well, thanks, Cash. I really appreciate you. I don't want to state that because, you know, all in front of the camera and, you know, I'm some kind of fake person. You don't think I recognize you? I totally recognize you. I see you. You'll comment on our particular live shows. Like, let's say, like, you missed the show. You'll come in, you make a comment. Like, hey, I missed the live, and then you'll make a comment there. I even see some of the shorts you make comments in, which is really cool. Always appreciate you, Cash. Thank you so much, man. All right. Jetpack says, honestly never gets wrecked. So the blockchain is basically showing proof of everything public. So nothing is hidden from Big Brother. Yeah, great point. Stump Rider, Max, I heart CTN. He loves CTN. Thank you. But I am not a fan of a portfolio manager. Okay, that's fine. If I need a portfolio manager, I would consider myself in over my head by not staying in touch with my investment portfolio. Okay. Well, if that's you and you feel as though that like you're way better about just doing it on your own and you're good, then you do you, man. I'm just saying in general, for me, I got to have a portfolio manager. And the reason why I got to have a portfolio manager is because I'm into about 50, give or take, different cryptos. And for me, it's like I read a lot every day. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know how much you guys read every day. I'm sure you guys do read a lot to a degree. But for me, like, before I used to, from August to, I don't know, like towards the end of the year, I used to work 3 jobs. So I was like, doing this, being a teacher, basketball coach. So that's a lot of material, right? Textbooks, you name it, right? Studying crypto, all these particular things. And then on top of that, being personally invested, where I reinvested about $60,000 from, what I made basically with crypto before, from taking what I made from Shiba Inu, the story, which some of you guys do, 10K to 120K. It didn't make me rich, but if anything, I wanted to reinvest a lot of it into crypto. And so my thing was, I cannot keep up with all of it in my head, and I needed to have a portfolio manager. And so that's the route I basically took. But there's a shout out to a particular person. I haven't seen him on the live show in a while. His name is Rob G. He mentioned, I think he's like only into like 5 projects or less. If that's you, then yeah, you could probably, pretty much do that all in your head. But there's people even here. I don't know if it's Tim Shea, maybe it's Crypto Mike. I don't know. I could have sworn, I think it is Crypto Mike, that he mentioned, Mike Cornwell, that he's into like 200 different projects. Are you kidding me? There's no way in hell that I'll be able to, pardon my expression, no way I'd be able to keep track of all that in my head. There's just no way. So for me, yeah, I gotta have a portfolio manager. But Stump, you gotta do what you gotta do. Thanks for pointing that out. Glad you love the show, Stump Rider. Appreciate that, man. And hopefully you guys watch some of our recorded content too, because I mean, there's a lot of putting time into that as well is what helps bring people to here and so on. So Mike's Crypto, he bought 900 quant at 54 cents, sold it at 450 at 6, put in XRP, sold another 100 at 150 and spread it around. Sold at 450. I could have sworn, I don't know about quant to 450. I could have, really? Hold on a second. I know I'm second guessing here or anything, but I could have sworn all-time highs for quant. Let's look this up. The September of 2021. Let me pull this up for a second. So quant, here it is. So let's see here. This is some of, yeah, okay. I was right. So September 14, 2021, quant hit 374. You state that you, hold on, bought 900 quant at 54 cents, sold 450. Oh, sold 450 of them at 6. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like you sold at like $450 all-time highs. I was like, that's not the all-time highs, but okay, I get what you're saying. I just, again, too much reading, too much in my head. Sleep apnea is a real thing. Take care of that. Anyway. All right, let me go further down, and we're going to get more into the news. With my above message, I would watch your portfolio video. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Jasmine, yep, we talked about that earlier. If you missed it, you can always go back and rewind it. Chili cheeseburger, chili cheese fries, and a Coke. Quant XRP XLM, don't touch, just build all the rest and use to handle business. Yeah, you gotta say that like what's his name, Mr. Franklin Saint of that hit show on FX called Snowfall. Another show I will endorse. So if you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna state this: if you ever wanted to watch a show that's the closest thing to Grand Theft Auto, but an actual TV show, you gotta watch a show called Snowfall. It takes place in the 80s. It is literally the closest thing to Grand Theft Auto, the TV show. Love that show. Anyway, that's what reminded me when you said business, because the way Franklin Saint says that. All right, let's go further down. Sports Up, thank you for that. Suns up at the half, 65-60. I don't even have method to watch my darn Suns at the moment. I got to hook that up, but I do watch the replays on YouTube. Just like the highlights and stuff. But thanks for that. Cash Cats, Abdul, Max did talk about Jasmine. Yep, I did. Suns going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully Kevin Durant will be healthy. Hopefully CP3 will be healthy. You always want to see everybody be healthy, but in reality, some people win championships based off of people not being healthy. Nothing against the Toronto Raptors, but that basically happened, as you know, back in 2019. All right, Calvin, Brian Dowie, can't disagree with you. And let's see, 64 likes. Thank you very much. Let's see if we get some more. All right, let me see where we're at, and I'm gonna kick it back into the the news. Ever look into Quant Stamp, QSP, huge partners? I have looked into Quant Stamp, but not where I took too much of a deep dive to maybe do a video on it and so on. But I have looked into that. It's not Quant, for all the people that are wondering if it's the same. It's not. It has nothing to do with it. All right. Want to welcome Linois. Good evening, CTN family. Thanks for being here, Linois. Glad to have you. And if anything, let's see here. I'll read this last one with Magic Power, with the powerful magic of knowledge. He says 10 companies are gone, lock up 35 billions, 70% total supply, another 2.4 billions, 4.8% is hold by Jasmine, only 12.6 billion, 25% will be available for retail at the end of 2023. The price will fly. Let me ask you this, Magic Power. Okay. Are you secretly Anonymous Unknown, the guy who posted originally with all these similar tidbits or good information? And if not, that's okay, but you definitely post very similar to how he posts, and I kind of wonder if you're the same person but you just came on here with a different name, not knowing it, or whatever the case be. I don't know. Even if you're not the same person, it's okay. But thank you for the info. Hey all to you guys. Hello, Linois. I don't type so fast. That's all right. I got burned on Squid Game token. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hopefully you didn't get super burned. Hopefully you didn't get so burned that you would want to come into the CTN live chat kind of like the guy's name of Burned by Saitama, like that bad. Obviously he got really burned. Anyway, Big Watch Dude. Hey Max, to be honest, there are some projects that have multi-level marketing feel to them. That's too bad. Or how about this? Some projects on which the website literally looks like it was put together in 1999. Like, what? What is that? That website looks horrible. Working a 9 to 5 is a scam. Investing is a science. All right, KK, good things coming. Be patient. Bye. And then so I'm good to see you, KK. Gingerius, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm one of you, Max. Too many on the go. Well, thanks. Thanks for being here. Consider changing to your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. And again, I'd like to welcome you. All right. The Crypto Smith sold 450 quant at $6 is what. Yeah, sorry. I know. I reread it. I'm good. All right. Linois, 3K burned. All right. Oh, geez. I'm sorry, Linois. That sucks. Yeah, I got burned. What was it? Oh, man, I have to double check. I think it was like 1,400 on Clifford Inu. Ugh. And then I got burned maybe $700 on Galaxy Snake. So what is that? 2100. What was another one? Suzuki Inu. I don't think I got burned a lot on that one. Maybe $100 or something like that. But I don't know. With all the rug pulls, I think I got burned. Maybe 2,500 or so, something like that. So not as much as you, but I'm part of that club, my friend. I'm not proud of it, but it's part of the journey. Did XRP burn half of their supply recently? That I don't know. If anybody knows about that, please share. 2K on click. Yeah, it's just, I'll state this much. All right. If for any reason we don't do this much, but for any reason, if we were to show you guys a particular crypto project, and especially if we were paid to show you guys, by all means, I would come out with, I would write a note to myself. All right, you showed this to the community at this particular date. You need to update yourself every so often, check into their Twitter or their Telegram at least once a month, because they might not tell you that there's going to be a V2. My thing is this, for these so-called top influencers, please, what the heck? You couldn't have updated your communities with a proper video. I know they'll state, well, it's part of them doing your own research. So what? You guys got paid very good money. Some of those guys got paid over $20,000. All right, I know that for a fact. All right, I'm not going to mention their names because I don't go after the specific influencers. I don't do that. All right, it's supposed to be like a brotherhood, if you will. You guys already know who they are, so I don't need to state it. But some of these guys got paid over $20,000, right, to shill some of these garbage crap tokens, horrible tokens, right? And they couldn't even bother coming out with an updated video about the V2 and how everybody's got a deadline, especially when it comes to Clifford Inu, of December 31st, 2022. And if you don't do it, you're SOL. Really? So it's okay for you to take the money, but it's not okay for you to come out with an updated video. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, you don't want to find out about that crap. Don't even bother with it. But yeah, with ISOs, you don't have to worry about that crap. Well, Alliance block, right? But that's, if anything, they made us whole, right? And you guys will see, I have the video, I think, fully uploaded. I do. I'm just going to publish it after so about roughly 15 minutes after the show's over, you will see a recorded video for Alliance block. I'm telling you flat out, all the FUD that they've gotten, they made up for it. They have made us whole again. That's what I'm talking about. You don't see that really when it comes to, I hate to say it, like the Clifford Enus of the world and so on. XLM burned half, but not recently. All right, good point. ISO Jetpack 20, hold on. J0229, I got burned $872 from Panda Inu. Feel your pain. I can still see it. This builds you. It does build it. The thing is this, I mean, as the saying goes, it's all part of the journey. I mean, you must fail first and other, right? You could apply that to anything. Anybody who states that they got extremely lucky and they just got 100, a perfect 100% off everything. Either they were only into one or two projects, or they're just lying, right? That's just the way I look at it. All right, Mike's Crypto, ALBT, Nexera will be mad. I think so too. And I'm patiently waiting for it. I think it'll be more fine. And that is part of the particular update for ALBT in the recorded video. I do the KuCoin segment too, but right towards the beginning. It is kind of a deep dive into it. It's not like a short, quick video, but I do mention in that video that the whole thing with KuCoin, all you have to do is it's automatic. You don't have to do anything. And it does have info in regards to if you didn't have it like on KuCoin, you have somewhere else, the steps that you have to take. All right, let me highlight that. I want to kick it back into the news, and if anything, I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on that because I did read quite a bit of comments and so on. So we talked quite a bit about the whole thing with Ripple. We actually have some XLM coverage for you. Yeah, how cool is that, right? So here you go. This is the Stellar Lumens update you're looking for. Lionel Richie. No. All right, so it states Stellar Network and its adoption by world countries. That's key. We've been talking about this for a while now, right? So when it comes to Nigeria, one of the other key ones recently, I believe, was the whole thing, of course, with Ukraine. I know some people are really negative about the whole thing with Ukraine, but that's not the point. The point is understanding how this is a positive catalyst for the likes of Stellar. They keep having various countries on board or implement their technology, whether they're building on Stellar with a particular, case study, right? But check this out. Shout out to ALP.LSP, this guy here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and follow him because he actually comes out with pretty unique news. So it says Stellar Network and its adoption by worldwide countries. One, because there's more to it than this. This is a thread. It's pretty good stuff. The Stellar Network is a blockchain-based payment protocol, as we know, designed to facilitate fast and low-cost cross-border transactions. It has gained great traction in recent years with several countries adopting it. Here's a few. Obviously, Ukraine. I believe this one on the top is Nigeria. The one on the far right, I don't know which one that is, to be honest. And of course, the one on the bottom, I don't know. But anyway, you have IBM there. I used to actually know this stuff, all of it, years ago with majoring in geography, but that's beyond the point. So look at this, and I'm going to blow this up as well. Number 2 of this particular thread states, one of the countries that embrace the Stellar Networks is Ukraine. And of course, I talked about this in the New Aid Initiative. You've been following that. So in 2021, the country's government announced a partnership with the Stellar Development Foundation to create a national digital currency. And if you're wondering about what this is, it's called the e-hryvnia, or as Larry would say, e-hryvnia. All right. So the move is aimed at improving financial inclusion. On top of that, another country that has shown interest in the Stellar Network is Nigeria. And of course, we showed you that particular clip. I may still have it, but it doesn't matter. It talks about a particular project built on Stellar, and why that's crucial because these particular third world countries, they go to, let's face it, other traditional foreign exchange, right? And it dramatically diminishes what the price, if you will, of the native currency. It diminishes it so much that it's not even worth it to them. With Stellar's XLM, that changes it big time, where it's still beneficial to them, where they do not diminish a lot of that particular value. Nigeria was a perfect example. So the country's central bank has been exploring the use of blockchain technology to improve efficiency in its payment systems. Stellar is one of the protocols being considered. On top of that, the Stellar Network has also been adopted in several other countries in Africa, including Kenya and Senegal. So that's probably what those other particular flags are all about. In these countries, Stellar is being used to facilitate remittances, which are a critical source of income for many families. On top of that, if you didn't know, in addition to its adoption by countries, the Stellar Network is also gaining popularity among businesses. Now, you maybe feel as though, you don't see a lot of price action happen with Stellar and so on, but keep in mind, what's the key takeaway from here? Even not looking at it fully like a lot of people, let's face it, don't do. And that is, the utility hasn't been fully utilized. You may see particular projects that are building on Stellar, and that's great, right? We always love to understand the building phase, right? XDC really stood out for 2022. Lots of new partnerships, but they're building and building and building in that particular bear market. I want to point out what's going on with Stellar because I want people to understand. Hold on, I just got to DM. Hopefully I'm not muted or something. All right. So I want people to understand that, again, just like XRP, the utility has not been fully utilized. And that's the key thing. When utility has been utilized or fully utilized, that's massive, right? So if anything, it's understanding this. So look what it states here. Gaining popularity among businesses. Several companies have integrated the protocol into their payment systems, including IBM, which has developed a payment platform based on Stellar. Give me a second. All right. So my thing is, I'm going to click out of this for a second. is understanding just that, when people want to complain it, for instance, whether it's XDC, XRP, XLM, these utilities have not been fully implemented. And that's what excites me, because I feel as though that we are in a accumulation phase when it comes to these particular cryptos. And if you've been following, like the Wall Street cheat sheet, if you will, there's something to be said about after the accumulation phase, right? There's some big gains to get. And I feel as though 2023 can still be a big year for not only seeing all-time highs on multiple projects, but I think it's part of the bull run. It might not be like all-time highs all across the board, but we've already seen some already pop off. On top of that, it says the adoption of the Stellar network by countries and businesses is a testament to the protocol's reliability and scalability. With its fast and low-cost transactions, Stellar is poised to revolutionize the way we think about cross-border payments. Absolutely true. 100%. As more countries and businesses adopt Stellar network, we can expect to see a shift towards a more decentralized and inclusive financial system. This is an exciting time. Just making sure somebody's not sending a message saying like I'm muted or something. This is an exciting time in regards to all of this, right? So where did I lose my spot? Excuse me. Yeah, this is the exciting time for blockchain technology, absolutely. And Stellar Network is the forefront of this revolution. What do you think about Stellar Network and its adoption by countries? He's just trying to get people involved and so on. I understand where a lot of people feel about this. If you own XRP, you got to have some Stellar to go with it. It just simply makes sense. It's like Forrest Gump and Jenny, right? Peas and carrots, if you will. That's the way I treat my Stellar. And at these particular price levels, still under 10 cents, last time around, instead of adding more to my XRP bag, I was really satisfied with it. I said, no, at this particular price, which was around 8 cents or 7 cents, something like that, I decided to double my position. And I've been very, very happy about that. All right. So shout out to ALP LSP for providing that. We have some XDC coverage we're going to get into in a bit. Give me just a second. I'll kick it back in the comments for just a brief moment. Thanks for being here tonight. And MaximusCrypto, what will the RALBT be for? I cannot remember off the top of my head what that could be for, to be used for, to be honest. I know that in my outline, I list what that is being used for. I have a whole detailed one on that. But some of these particular ones that there was a lot of it, there's a lot to be covered in regards to that. Check it out. I do have the answer for that in the particular video. Or if you just want, go straight to, and I'll share this right now for you if you don't want to, go through the hassle of, seeing that particular part of the video. And I can't blame you. You can go straight to Alliance Block. Hold on. Let me pull that up real quick. Here it is. So if you have Twitter, just go to where it says search. Twitter, type in Alliance Block, all the one word. It takes you right to here. And again, it has these particular pinned tweets from yesterday and some other particular updates from earlier as well. And it has all the information in regards to the Nexera token distribution portal, which is now live. And it also has like the KuCoin stance on top of it as well. I believe they chimed in on this earlier somewhere in this particular thread. But yeah, it's just at Alliance Block and you can follow that. All right. On top of that, let's go ahead and read this comment from Lenoir. He told a large part, hold on. I told a large part of my girlfriend's family, okay, to buy Mononoke Ina. Oh no. And they don't talk to me anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I got burned on Mononoke as well. How bad did I get burned? Man, I think I got burned pretty bad. Not in the thousands, thank God. Yeah, but Mononoke was basically a slow rug. I think other content creators have stated that, but it's true. I'm not trying to hop on that bandwagon, but it's a very true statement. So my Mononoke Inu, and I have basically, hold on a second. I have one billion Mononoke Inu is worth $1.37. It would cost more in gas fees to cash it out. I made a mistake. Originally, it came in at about $184 of this. I don't mind sharing this. This is okay. I don't care. I'll share this. Screenshots or didn't happen, right? You know, some people say, right, Max? So let me check the time because I do have an appointment later. Oh, shoot. I have an appointment now? God. I'm going to have to wrap up the show here soon. Yeah, I got to wrap up here soon. I apologize. So I'm going to have to wrap it up probably within 15 minutes or so. But anyway, Mononoke Inu. Yeah, look what it states here. It says, I originally bought this October 24, 2021. I waited till 4 o'clock in the morning to buy it, to get less expensive gas fees. Spent $184 on this piece of garbage. And then to make matters worse, 7 days later, I bought $391 more of this garbage at 7:10 in the morning. Probably even paid more in gas fees because of that time. So, you know, it says, you know, $572.84. In reality, it's about $575, probably $600 if you want to include the each gas fees, right? So at least $600 that I know of wasted in this garbage. That's what I'm talking about. This is why I don't really take a chance anymore when it comes to meme tokens. I'm just sorry. I just don't do it. Yeah. Linois, is that a bad thing? Yeah. It might be a good thing, right? Especially if you don't have to show up to some of the functions that they have. You don't like them anyway. Come on over and eat my wonderful tuna casserole. You're going to love it. The hell I am. You could take your tuna casserole and stick it up your Mononoke Inu. Anyway, sorry. Yes, Lionel Richie. All right. I'll read a few more. I think I still have some coverage I'll be able to cover real quick. Managed Power states, no, Max, I'm not this person. I'm strongly believe in Jasmine, and I like your show and research you make. I'm from Germany. Oh, okay, cool. Well, you got similar comments, and that's why I wanted to state that you might not be him. So cool. Very, very cool. Linois states, I think collectively her family put in about $30K. They are so upset with me. She broke up with me, and it sucked. But, oh, man, I'm sorry, Linois. That's got to suck, man. Sorry. It is part of the crypto journey, but that does suck. Well, you know, how about this? That could have happened with multi-level marketing or something, you know what I mean? Jetpack J0229, everything else is Algo, ETH, ADA, and Multiverse X. But you know what? I appreciate to hear, Linois, what I appreciate to hear from you is that you didn't allow that to define who you are and your crypto journey, right? You are like heavily, last I checked, really into quant. And at some day, whether it's through quants or some of these other ones, you're going to be able to, if you cross paths with these people again, or whatever the case be, being like, you know what? I didn't allow that bad news from Mononoke Inu define who I am and the success that I want to get out of my, you know, with these particular crypto projects. Or I didn't want to allow that to define the lack of success that I wasn't able to achieve through, obviously, Mononoke Inu. You know, so yeah, man, I give you credit where credit's due. You still stay the course. You picked yourself off the ground and realize, you know what, that's part of failing. But you know, you learn from failure. We all do. All right. Yeah, you're very welcome. All right. It's all a gamble. Just got better at what I buy and my research and tokens I ape into. Very good point. If you create trust and get a business in Estonia, you can get a license for crypto and utilize XRP and other cryptos just like a bank or government agency. Good point. Dwayne Marshall says, watch the vid about someone on the XDC ledger. Let me see. Running NFTs, which you insert your XDC. Have you heard, guys, any news? Piece from Australia. ISO Maxi all the way. Cool. I didn't hear about that, unfortunately. The only thing I could think of possibly where it's not necessarily XDC, maybe somebody else can answer this. Maybe it's actually Globiance, right? GBEX, which is built on XDC. That's the only thing I think of, because that 7% would be something that kind of sounds like it would be in that particular range, but don't quote me on that. I did not hear anything specifically in regards to Ledger. All right, so about interoperability, if we can't all use it, we don't wait, WNT it unless you're rich or decentralized. All right. Avatars fixed. Cool. Gingerus, right on. All right. Linwan, man, that sucks. It does. Linwan states, thanks, Max, the CTN family, for the words of encouragement. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Absolutely. And thanks for being here and being a loyal supporter for many, many months, dating all the way back to at least before last summer. That you mentioned that you got into Quant right around the time we first talked about it, right around the $40 level. So you've been around for a long time, if that's the case. All right, MaximusCrypto Casper is still a great price. Yeah, I agree. So you're right. All right, I'll do a little bit more because I got to show respect to my friend. So if anything, we did have some more, and it was in regards to like some of these other particular ones and so on. See how far I can get into it. I just don't want to, let my friend down. But I want to share this in regards to XDC. So here you go. And it says, we talked about Go plugin, Impel official, Comtech official, Kinesis, Ledger, just like what you were just mentioning earlier, Ledger Mail, and so much more. Shout out to Joshua Rumsberg. He, in my opinion, is probably like the top influencer of XDC. He has close to 307,000 followers. He's founder and CEO of Chainleak, the crypto news podcast ambassador. He covers XDC, Legacy, GBEX, SYS, PLI, TRX, and so on. I'm flattered that he actually follows me, to be honest. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, this came out just a few hours ago, and this particular clip is pretty cool. Something to be said about this. It's an interview with Ritesh Kakad. And let's go ahead and listen to this, and then we'll come right back. Here we go.
Okay. Now, earlier you also spoke about XDC 2.0.
Yeah.
What does that mean for the network, for people building on the network, and for the community?
Yeah. So, XDPush 2 is mainly for the security scalability reason. If you look at the white paper which came around XDPush 2, around second week of March, we are also doing a workshop in ETH Dubai event about XDPush 2, where it says more focus towards security and scalability features, which provides more security. The way the transaction happens, it's provide more scalability in terms of if you want to increase the numbers of validators, if you want to increase numbers of transaction, if you like to give more load, and it can able to handle those kind of loads. So security and scalability is a main feature for XDPush 2 right now. And we are also doing a minor updates which is required for various enterprise use cases. Like many enterprise, they want to use XDC subnet, but they have a very specific requirement, especially from the financial and banking side. They require certain feature to be added that we are also adding with XDPush 2.
All right, so it's nice to hear that particular update. There's a little bit more I think I have, but if anything, give me just a second. Yeah, with regards to LCX ecosystem, I'll probably share that a different particular day. Let me see here. There's a one about Hedera's H-bar. I will go ahead and jump right into that real quick. And then if anything, I'll wrap things up here in a bit. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. Let me see where we're at. Hold on a second. Here we go. So yes, here we go. In regards to Hedera's HBAR, says breaking Hedera is so performant and scalable, it doesn't need a layer 2. That's like what? Really? Well, listen to this. It says the fastest, most secure, most efficient, and cost-effective DLT network is here and soon supported by the most secure hardware wallet. Hedera plus Citadel wallet equals security redefined. Pretty cool stuff. On top of this, you do see this right here. And shout out to Mason versus Luis. A lot of you guys follow him, right? 152,000 followers. Really doing it big. More breaking news for HBAR. Now, remember a while back, I think it was about maybe a week or two ago, I talked about the whole thing of their big milestone for doing like over 1 billion transactions. And we saw the price pump because, if anything, utility was being used, right? So breaking, HBAR processed 321,800,000 real transactions on the Hedera mainnet. The key thing here, in the last 7 days. And this shows just that. Blow it up a little bit. Pretty darn impressive to see this, right? Total transactions, 321 million 321.8 million. Massive stuff that they're doing, right? And not only that, with a lot less electricity, right? Like it's the most greenest of all blockchain. It's not even a blockchain, right? Hashgraph is technically not a blockchain. Really, really impressive to see this with Hedera. All right, a little bit more in regards to our coverage because I'm just going to rapid fire it off. And here we go. Shout out to Kevin Cage. Somebody in the comments has a similar avatar to this guy. So I don't know. Anyway, I think it was one of the guys who said that he recently changed his avatar. Maybe it's MaximusCrypto. I don't know. Somebody in the comments has a similar avatar as this guy with the sunset. But here's some Casper information, right? And I've been really, really impressed with Casper lately. So it says, remember that, let me double check I'm not muted. Remember that Casper is working with AMAG. And if you wonder who AMAG is, they're Switzerland's largest automotive dealer and importer. Quote, transforming the financial leasing experience of Switzerland's largest automotive company by enabling securitization of leasing contracts and registration of data. Development has begun. But the key takeaway here is understanding this whole thing of data. Remember what we talked about with Jasmine? Jasmine, some people were stating that, data in Web3, or the fourth industrial revolution, if you will, is so crucial because it's like, data is like digital oil, right? And now you see this leasing contracts and registration of what data. Data is big. It's massive. There's so much money to be made with data. Now, if you're wondering about this specific company, who is AMAG, here is what they have. This is their particular site. And they are indeed the world's, or I should say the biggest automobile manufacturer in Switzerland, right? And of course, here's a particular site. I go further down here, just kind of takes you to, what they have here and so on. Let me see if it shows anything. It says AMAG, your car dealership at 85 locations and online. And just like what they mentioned on the particular news that we just showed you for Casper, welcome to the biggest car dealership in Switzerland. Just like it said before, as official Swiss dealership, we at AMAG offer all the models of Volkswagen brands and so on. Audi, obviously, and so on. But I don't know. It was kind of a nice positive catalyst for Casper to see that. On top of that, we want to get into briefly this whole thing about Cypherium. I know a few guys came from Cypherium earlier, so I definitely want to at least cover it and give, pay my respect. So Mason Versalis, he came out with this particular tweet earlier yesterday. He says, I need to know if Cypherium plus FedNow partnership is real. CPH, I remember posting about it when it came out. I deleted it due to the lack of info. Someone provide proof. I might buy it. Well, it's not that it's an official, I guess you say, partnership. I get where he's coming from, but it's that they've officially recognized Cypherium, right? And they specifically mention them. And if anything, that in itself is really powerful. I think if they mentioned that they were officially partnered, this thing would have flew off the hinges when it came to price, right? But let's face it, there's a thing called NDAs and so on. So I'm glad that there was a follow-up in regards to his tweet from yesterday, because here's that follow-up. So I'm going to blow this up, and it says, this came from Valhalla, Hall of the Slain. Here are a few things that Mason Versailles needs to know about Cypherium. Let's blow it up. So Sky, who's CEO of Cypherium, came out with this. He says he met with the Fed's Project Hamilton. By the way, we did that particular deep dive in regards to Project Hamilton with Quant, if you guys remember that. But anyway, this was posted on December 22nd. It says Sky met with the Fed's Project Hamilton dev team back on that particular day at MIT. They shared many insights aligned with Cypherium's vision. Also, they are working with China already. On top of that, Sky mentions that he also visited the Bank of International Settlements. Remember, we talked about that recently as well. I think even shout out to Sean CryptoSmith, he talked about that. This was back on February 9th. And remember these particular screenshots? He's into the building. It says Bank of International Settlements. But yeah, he visited there on, was it the 9th? Give or take. That it might not be the exact day because, you know, this is a screenshot. He met the people at the frontier of CBDC innovation, introduced Cypherium as the blockchain for international settlements, right? At the Bank of International Settlement /BIS, right? On top of that, just to kind of pound it home, you know, the icing on the cake for Cypherium, says by joining the FedNow ecosystem, Cypherium will bridge the on-chain and off-chain assets, making seamless transition happen between traditional finance and Web3. Join our cause and become a Cypher trooper today. Explore more at FedNow and so on. Now you got to keep in mind, it's part of that particular ecosystem. Well, you would expect if you're part of the ecosystem, you have a partnership. But, you know, some people want to state, you know, unless it says partnership in actual writing, that's not the case. But for me personally, the way I look at it is I connect the dots. A lot of times you guys do too, right? So that's where it's at. And this is why I feel so bullish on even Cypherium and why it is one of the must-haves that I have to have part of my ISO list. And shout out to CryptoSmith. If it wasn't for him, and I think also, who else was the other guy? Me, myself, and I probably would have gotten into this. But the icing on the cake, I know I keep saying that, for me was when I watched CryptoSmith, you know, Sean's video that he first did on Cypherium. And when he showed, you know, the website, it shows his ISO 222 compliant. And this right here, being a big player, right, that may very well be overlooked. I was like, oh man, well, how much does this cost? And I was like, oh my gosh, 6 cents. Now it's like 5. Yeah, I got to get me some Cypherium. Might be picking it up real soon here since it's towards the end of the month. But yeah, glad to bring that to you guys. Let me see. I think there's one more piece we have for Cypherium. We do. I want to show you guys this as well. This is good stuff. So check out this particular migration timeline. We're always talking about ISO 222 and the migration timeline, right? So I guess I'll stick right there. This is a lot bigger on that particular one. So the adoption of ISO 222 is due to take place over several years with payment market infrastructures, PMIs, and all major currencies either live or in the process of migrating to ISO 222 by November 2025. Cross-border payments, SWIFT, are due to migrate existing messages type series 1, 2, and 9 starting in March 2023, right? We know that, right? March 20 is coming up here soon, less than a month away. With adoption plans evolving in each market, adoption by major real-time gross settlement RTGS market infrastructures currencies are currently planned as follows. And here it goes. We talked about March 20th. Here is this particular timeline, and you got it in writing. And I think this is crucial. And if anything, this whole thing of it being mentioned with Cypherium, that's big. So it says SWIFT, cross-border payments reporting, CBPR plus coexistence period until November 2025. You got Target 2 international euro payments. You got the Fed/CHIPS phase 1. That's when that happens, right? In regards to CHAPS specifically, if you've been following us, that will happen on June 19th of 2023. On top of that, you have by October this year, HK chats, November of this year, chips, full ISO adoption, right? Not just partially. March of 2025, the Fed will have full ISO adoption. Now, that is a particular update because originally I was under the understanding, or the assumption, I should say, that based off what we had presented in front of us, and again, some of the stuff could be outdated, right? It mentioned that the Fed was supposed to come in at November of 2025. So this is new to me. Thought I'd bring it to you guys as well. So that's a lot sooner. That's basically, God, I mean, yeah, what is that, like many months sooner? Yeah. I mean, basically going from second quarter 2025 to, or excuse me, fourth quarter 2025 to second quarter 2025. That's not bad. Then, of course, as we know, by full implementation of everything across the board, November 2025, ISO 222 migration payment market infrastructure of all major currencies to have adopted ISO 222 for cross-border payments. Nice to see this in regards to posted from Cypherium Turkey. And if anything, I think that might be it. Let me just double check. It is. So glad to wrap things up that way. I actually got through all of it, which is crazy. I didn't want to go 4 hours. Didn't quite do 4 hours, which is fine. Thank God. I'm going to read the last bit of comments. MaximusCrypto says, what will be the that used for? I think I talked about that earlier. Yeah, those are my last bookmarks. Jeez. All right, let me go further down. Let me see where I'm last at. Let me see. Yeah, I know where I'm at now. All right, so we got. I also want to say hello to Mike again. Good to see you, Mike. Jonathan Del Rio, are the CPH tokenomics not a concern for you? Well, all that's a concern. I mean, any particular project's tokenomics are a concern. I could get more into that, but I'm wrapping up the show right now. I mean, it's not. I'm trying to make a scapegoat. I'm technically speaking, I'm supposed to meet up with my friend 22 minutes ago, but he did stay roughly in the 10 to 10:30 area. So I got about 8 minutes to go. All right, but I'm gonna wrap it up here right now. River states, I'm buying Casper every month, and Casper Live is doing some good things and encourage me to do this. Elias Block is a Casper Live validator that you can stake with. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's actually interesting. Well, thank you for that, River Runner, and everybody else. Thank you for joining us here tonight for Crypto Talk Now. We will be back here, same Batman time, same Batman channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you check out the recorded ALBT video. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out here soon, and it will go live here soon, probably within the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, give or take, or maybe even sooner than that. I have the thumbnail, the whole 9 yards. By all means, smash that like button before you exit. Going on 4 hours. No, we're not doing that. I didn't even want to go 3 hours, and we're going on 3.5 almost. Good to be here. Thank you. Very welcome. I hope to see more of you, Mike Crypto. Don't forget to hit the like. Thank you very much. You have a good night, Cash Cats, and the rest of the CTN family. Lock Casper with no Nano S Plus. Huh. All right. Fantastic stream, Max. Thank you very much, Crypto Smith. Sean, by all means, give Sean a plug. I'll give him a quick plug real quick because I just like to in regards to crypto. So here we go. And I think I just saw Lazy Shaman show a quick little plug for us, which was kind of cool. So check out Lazy Shaman as well. Let me see here. So where are we at? Yeah, so check out the Lazy Shaman show. They're live right now, so I'll give him a plug. But what I was going to state is go to the Crypto Smith. Yes, Sean the Crypto Smith. Go over here. Well, why should I go over there, Max? Well, I'll show you why. Here's the main reason why I want to go over here. Oh, by the way, Sean, congratulations on 1.6K subscribers. Awesome. I'm glad to see you ticked up. So 1,600 subs. Very cool. He just covered Quorum. Cool. Next layer 1 blockbuster quorum. Covered 2 hours ago. Check that out. See, guys, some of the ISOs, right? And some of the QFS, right? Quantum Financial System. I did a video 4 days ago about XRP creates a financial chain across the world. Obviously, still covers MMAI continuously. Obviously, Cypherium. Great content. And if anything, he is the co-host here on Monday with me for our new show. Technically speaking, this would have been the 4th time, but it's the 3rd time because last Monday's was canceled. For Utility Talk Now, which is part of our lineup, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Monday. So please, by all means, if you haven't done so already, go check him out. He has a great voice, and he keeps it interesting. Like, as soon as you're about ready to maybe drift off, he does a B-roll. You know what I mean? How cool is that? You don't know what B-roll is? Watch one of his videos, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. All right? So we'll stop share on that. And I'm just going to read the last ones. Peace out to Big Watch Dude. River says, thanks, Max. Get some chill out time if you can. Yeah, I definitely will. I need to get some chow, though, too. Stump Rider, great. Max, great job. Thank you. Thanks to Larry. Yes, thank you so much to Larry for holding the fort down. Thank you, Stump Rider. And Richard says, good night, all. All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you back tomorrow if you happen to be here, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Be on the lookout for the ALBT Next Era recorded video here soon. Have a good night. See you on the next one.